Hello and welcome to Video Game After Live. I'm your host, Joe Lunghi. Joining me today is my panel of experts.
Thomas Weitzel.
Ralph, you did it again, by the way. You said after.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Video game hour.
It's Video Game
No,
After
no,
Live
no,
on
no,
the
no,
podcast.
Because we're
no,
going.
no,
This
no.
is the podcast is after
God
the show.
damn it, Ralph!
Hi, I'm Chase as well on here. Ralph, you've messed it up again. You're the one who messed it
We're
up
not
again.
VGAL, we're VGHL.
Yeah,
No,
but
but
the
the
name of the
podcast
podcast is Video Game After Live.
And the after has a
Because-
silent H at the start of it.
Because this
Have
isn't
to
live.
No, it's like Spanish. The H is silent, which I hate,
Everything
by the
else
way.
is live. This is we do it on the show. This is not
This
on
is
show.
not a live podcast. I hate to break the immersion, audience. But
What?
No,
What?
not live.
You mean-
Do
Why
not
do you
write in
keep
about
filming
that.
us then?
Why do you keep telling us to take our shirts off?
This is a audio podcast, not visual. Okay, that is just for my eyes only.
Okay, well, all right. Now I feel a little better about it.
Don't have to feel self-conscious. So, usually we start with the icebreaker, but before that, I think I want to introduce a new segment where we just revisit the previous list from last episode. Now, this would be more
God
relevant
damn it.
if it wasn't for the fact that half of the panel was already on that show.
Yep.
Specifically, Thomas was the only one not on it.
Oh,
So,
Hi, Tom.
what was the top 5 list
Well,
that was made last
Let's
week?
get into it.
it was the top 5 Nintendo characters.
Let me see the list.
I want to hear what you think. Give me a top 5 Nintendo characters.
All right, Link's number 1. That's non-debatable.
Keep going.
Link is number
just
1.
do 1 to 5.
Next down the list,
Uh-huh.
Mario, because well, they built their whole franchise
Yeah,
off of
exactly.
the
This
damn
This
character.
is the most,
Like, he's-
okay.
Yeah, no, keep
He
going.
has to be up there.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
After that,
Keep-
Bowser, iconic villain.
Yeah, okay.
Then Ganondorf.
Yep, all right.
But they're like really close. Like those two are pretty much one and the same in my head, but I have to put one in front of the other for
Locked
the sake
at
of
the
top
3 and
5
4
list.
slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then who's
And then
number 5?
number 5, Wario. Just because I like him.
All right.
Just 'cause-
What if I told you got 2 out of those 5 right?
Oh damn, really?
Could you guess which 2?
Link?
Nope.
Nope.
Well then y'all got it wrong.
Why would you say no? Okay, you know what? Just continue.
You said
Mario?
you guessed.
No.
You
You didn't need to tell him wrong. I wanted him to lock it in. He didn't get to
Okay.
lock it in.
Gotcha.
You said Link and Mario. Those were not. Those
Bowser.
were not in the top 5. Number 5.
Wait, they weren't even in the top
They were not
5?
in the top. They were
What
not
the
in
fuck
top
kind of
5.
list are y'all
Dude,
making?
they weren't even in the
Dude.
top 10.
What
Yeah.
Link's the best
Yeah.
character they've made.
How is Link a good
Here's the-
character?
He's
I
not a
was
good
involved-
character.
How is Link a good character?
Because you create, you get to be Link, you get to meld with Link over the course of all of these games.
Sounds like a lot of video game protagonists to
I have
me.
not once Pacific rimmed with Link, alright?
I have Pacific rimmed with Link so hard.
I think Toon Link.
Compatibility rates
I
out of
think
10.
Toon Link was number 10.
Yeah,
Shut
Toon
your
Link-
damn mouth.
I thought it was
See,
bullshit.
that's what I thought was bullshit.
Don't-
I tried to fight
How
for
can
Link.
Toon Link be on the list and not the real OG Link?
That's
Chase,
what I
Chase
said.
made that
Because
argument.
Toon Link has more character than OG
No, he doesn't.
Link.
Have you played Twilight Princess?
Yeah, and this Twilight Princess Link is just,
This is a visual podcast, but Chase is just having a blank stare.
and that's it.
That's
This
not
kid-
what he smiles, he nods, he like.
so does
goes
Toon
up-
Link, but he also has like
Yeah.
way more expression. He's a cartoon
That's
character.
cheap thrills.
That's why he's
Cheap
number 2!
thrills.
And that's why he's
Twilight
number
Princess
10.
gives you
All right.
legitimate characters.
All right,
No, it
Thomas.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Number 5, Samus Aran.
Okay, that's fair.
Number-
Samus belongs on that list.
Number 4, Wario.
Good. He's just goofy. I
Yeah,
enjoy
he really
him.
was a little
It's like it has nothing to do with him.
He's a greedy monster.
I would
love
argue
him.
that is a Nintendo character with character development.
That is true.
If you
Unlike
play
Mario.
the game in Wario games.
Mario doesn't really have any. It's
Yeah.
just it's more Mario's like the name recognition.
If we were doing
But anyway.
iconic characters
Oh,
from Nintendo,
totally.
Mario would be on there. But
Because
iconic
Mario's
character-
Nintendo's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
he's their
But
flagship.
I want to put Mickey
character.
Mouse as one of my favorite Disney characters.
Oh no.
There
But like
you
you
go.
have to respect him because
Goofy,
I don't
man.
respect
Yeah,
shit.
No.
Goofy.
This
Okay,
week we're
anyway.
doing top 5 Disney characters. Anyway,
Dude.
number 3, Luigi.
Luigi.
Luigi is significantly higher than Mario on this list. Does that bother
Luigi
you?
has Luigi has more character. It's
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
Mario's Luigi. I say it as a joke, but it's like I started saying that as a joke, but it's like slowly bled into
I
just
said
how
that as a
refer to it.
child. Now it's really scaring me. They're like Luigi, and I was like, yeah, I know, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, what is going on?
But no. Luigi's a fun character, and he does have some legitimate like character growth in there. More than Mario, I'd say, is arguable.
Yeah,
for
more
sure.
Yeah.
than Zero.
That-
But I feel like Mario is like Mario's almost at this point that Nintendo can't touch him because he's so iconic that any changes
That's
they
why
try to
they
make.
should touch him.
Admittedly, yes. But anyway,
Has Mario ever cried? Because Luigi has cried.
I don't think Mario has. Anyway, what's number
Mario
2?
only got them crocodile tears.
Luigi dreams about. I mean,
Number
Mario
2,
spaghetti.
Kirby.
He does. Kirby?
Kirby.
Fuck that shit.
He should have been number 1, honestly.
Kirby doesn't
Yeah,
belong in the top
Kirby
20.
should have been
Look,
number
I
1.
made sure Kirby got number 1, so give me some
Kirby should have been
props
number
here.
1. Kirby's the greatest thing Nintendo's ever
Kirby
made.
doesn't belong on the list.
No, he does, and he's there.
I like Kirby.
Number 1.
Just like no argument on this.
Number 1 is Bowser.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
I would still argue for Link number 1, and not that Toon Link bullshit.
I didn't put Toon's at 10. I didn't want to get any higher than that. Like I was like, yeah, whatever. Fuck Link is what I was like the whole time. But Toon Link's a little higher than Link.
But he's in all the worst Zelda games. I don't understand.
Scientifically, you're totally
Scientifically.
correct.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm gonna say, don't tell me Phantom Tracks or whatever is your favorite.
I like
It's
how you
my
combined
favorite.
both of the shitty DS games to make
Phantom
it Phantom
Hourglass.
Tracks.
Ghost was that
That's my
Ghost
favorite
Tracks?
Link Hot album.
Whatever
came out.
tracks.
Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass.
That's it.
Spirit
I've played
Hourglass.
Phantom
Yeah.
Hourglass.
Spirit
I
Tracks.
haven't touched Spirit Tracks.
So with that, I think we're ready to move into the icebreaker. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
17.
It's not even
I was gonna say 7.
Okay.
3.
4.
Well,
That's
no,
my
you said
legitimate
you said
guess.
17. I don't
Can
know.
I have a legitimate guess?
Well, I mean, it was 4. So
You
I'm
could
kind
have
of-
had a legitimate guess.
I'm kind of upset now. You said 17.
Son of a bitch!
I'm gonna have to give it to Chase.
Okay.
Well,
What does that
apologies.
mean? I don't know what that means. You
Chase-
just stare at me.
Chase, I'd
this
like
is
you-
an audio podcast. I
Audio,
can't see
it's
you
an audio
staring at me.
podcast.
This is a live. This is a
Live
live
from
mic.
your
This is a
studio
hot mic,
audience.
everyone.
San Diego.
Let's just sign language to each other, like.
Now, Chase,
Yo.
I would like you to pick a letter in the alphabet. I would prefer it not to be the letter T,
Okay.
because we've done T already.
P.
The letter P. Okay, that's a good one. I like the letter P. So now, we are going to go in a
It's
circle.
one of my favorite letters.
This is
Easily
an
in
hour
the
of
top.
Sesame Street
Easily
now.
in the top 10.
Top 10 letters.
Obviously, top 10 P.
We are going to go in a circle, naming games that start with the letter P. We are going clockwise, starting with Chase. You have 15 seconds. If you do not name one in 15 seconds, you are out.
Pac-Man.
Pokemon Red.
No Pokemons are allowed.
Well, what the hell?
No, that's it. No, like after
Going
that.
forward.
Oh, going forward?
No
Yes.
more Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Shit. Fantasy Star Universe, because they
That
spell it
counts.
with a
That's
PH,
P.
yeah.
No more Fantasy Stars. Paper Mario.
I have Punch Out.
Pikmin.
I'm having so much trouble with this.
Oh my god. All right, he's out.
How do I know no P games?
Harappa the Rapper.
Oh, you.
Thanks for reminding me of that one, Thomas.
Power Gym.
Ooh.
That's a game.
Power Stone, Power Jam, okay.
Yeah.
Papers, Please.
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
And now I've run out of ideas.
They're not like P is not the most popular video game title letter.
It's pretty popular. I'm just dumb. It's like I think the legitimate.
Well, you're in longer than I was.
Well, I think I'm just gonna call it for myself now.
No, try.
All right, he's out.
Just go.
Ralph, it's down to you and me.
Paper Jam. That's a game. I'm not.
I said Paper Mario already.
No, like okay.
Are we talking Paper Mario Paper Jam, or is there a different
No,
game
there's
called
like-
Paper
Is
Jam?
there Paper Mario Paper Jam?
Is there? I didn't know
Well,
that.
it's the Mario and Luigi game.
I just know there's a Paper Jam game.
Is there a real Paper Jam game?
Yeah.
I'll allow it,
It's
okay.
very indie, but sure.
Yeah, that's fine then.
All right, name one. Come on, Joe.
Come on, you idiot! You dumb butt!
Pirates,
Loser.
Pirates
You're a
of the
loser.
Caribbean. There are Pirates of the
There
Caribbean
are
games.
I used to play Pirates
Checkmate.
of the Caribbean 3 on the 360 all the time.
Pinball 3D Ultra Mini.
Oh my god, no more.
How did we forget pinball?
It's not a real video game.
It's like an OG game.
Dude, it's
not a
like-
game.
It's not a real video game.
There's video pinball.
Hurry up, Joe.
There's video
Hurry
pinball.
up, Joe.
In fact, there's like a copy of
Hurry up, Joe.
Chase just not letting me have.
No, no, my time for
I'm
you.
done. All right, I'm out. Ralph
Power
wins.
Rangers.
Power. Oh, he was sitting on it. You just.
He was waiting.
I used to play the Power Rangers game.
You were like, what is it? He's like, I'm already 3 moves ahead of you.
I used to play the Power Rangers game on the N64. How did I blank on that?
All right.
We suck.
We do.
Congratulations, Ralph. You are the winner of the icebreaker.
Yep.
Your prize will be presented later on in the podcast. Be looking forward to that, everyone. So with that, we can move into what have we been playing? And since
go
Ralph
for
won, we
that.
can start with you, Ralph.
That's your prize.
What you been playing this week?
I've just been playing a lot of Battlefield 1 multiplayer, and it's like probably my favorite Battlefield multiplayer.
It is your favorite Battlefield multiplayer out of every Battlefield game.
Yeah, so Hardline doesn't fucking compete.
Hardline sucks.
Yeah.
I'd say Hardline did some things right.
You
Like
could-
there are some elements in Hardline that were good.
It had the sound of the police playing while you had a grenade launcher and shot cops. It's an inspired video game.
I can play whatever music I want while I play video games,
Yeah, but what
and I
game
usually
chooses
do.
the music you want to listen to while you play it?
Not many.
Admittedly,
Yeah, exactly.
I got really tired of whoop whoop. It's the sound of the police after like the 18th time I got in a car.
I don't think I
actually.
actually ever got tired of that because I could like passenger side window, grenade launcher, shoot a cop going by, and it goes whoop whoop, and I'm like, this is an all right video. Not a good video game. It's an all right video game.
I think we
No, but
rated
like-
it. I think we said it was a 6.
But anyway,
7.
Ralph, you were the one who started us here.
I told you. But no, like one thing that really got me was like it works when it launched, unlike Battlefield 4. Like
I still argue though, once Battlefield 4 got working, which everybody says a month, I got it working within a week and a half. Like
Yeah,
I
like-
was in games. I think Battlefield 4 up until Battlefield 1 was my favorite.
yeah,
in the series.
no,
like,
definitely.
Once it got working.
But like there's some problems I have with Battlefield 4. But like I have two main things with Battlefield 1 was that how limited the classes are, and that it's not as destructible while they're like you're playing like
Really?
in a field. Like it's only destructible like really like in the city, but like
Yeah, I think he's just saying there's like a lot of open area.
Yeah,
Like, not a lot of destructible just because you're like, I'm in a sand dune. Like, you can't blow up
Yeah.
the sand dune. The sand dune's eternal.
Well, in
Yeah.
a way, you can like create craters when you like blast the sand dune
Yeah.
with explosives, so you can kind
yeah,
of
like
blow up the
in
sand dune. But
that what's it called, the the Alps.
Mhm.
You can't like the bunker's not destructible. And I don't like that because people just camp in there and
I don't know, but I'd also argue on like a lot of maps, the buildings blow up and they feel, at least like when destruction is happening in that game. Like I love Battlefield 4 and everything, don't get me wrong, but the
Yeah.
destruction sometimes felt a little scripted at moments.
Inorganic.
Yeah, like slightly less. Like it
Like-
felt mostly right, but there'd just be like little bits of it that's like, oh, this part was meant to blow up, and I hit here, so it
yeah,
blew
the
up like this
skyscraper is
portion.
just like it's
Yeah.
really cool the first time, but like it just like falls the same place every time.
Oh yeah,
I
but
wish-
like when destruction happens in Battlefield 1, it feels like really organic when something's
Yeah.
getting blown apart.
No, I agree with
hit that like corner of the windmill with a grenade, and that corner is like blown out, like perfectly around where I hit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or when a plane comes crashing through it, which happens a lot. Like the
So
whole
glad
thing
that
goes,
happened.
the whole windmill comes down, which is BA as hell.
I
But
wish
I can agree too
there
when you're in the
was.
cities. Yeah, like in the cities,
Yeah.
you don't get quite as much. Though I love that the interiors of most buildings in the city actually work this time around.
Yeah.
There's still, like, I'd argue it's probably about half the buildings that you can go into, as opposed to Battlefield 4 is like a quarter of the buildings. But it's still like more, and it makes it feel more fleshed out. Plus, it gives you these awesome like ambush locations when somebody's coming down the street.
Yeah.
You can bust open the door to like one of the stores and just be camping in there with like your rifle up. And then somebody fires a rifle grenade into the building and kills
Yeah,
all of
you're
you.
dead. I wish
Yeah.
there was more like level changing stuff. Like in 4,
Yeah.
there's like kind of like every map's like there'll be something different happening on this map every time.
Yeah.
Like you want like levolution.
Yeah, I want that levolution. It was.
I
A
was
good,
gonna use that
It was
buzzword.
Yeah.
such a good idea. I like the skyscraper falling apart and being like, now
Oh, yeah.
this whole point is changed for like what you're gonna do with it.
And I agree. And
Yeah.
even though it was like inorganic the way it fell apart, like
Yeah.
it was still a nice change of pace. It didn't happen every time. Like sometimes people would leave it standing. And it usually had another element brought to it. Like when
Yeah.
the skyscraper came down, not only did that command point change, but for the next like 10 minutes of the map, there was this fog of like the building that came down, like all the dust in the air and everything, and that
Yeah.
would change it up a little bit. You didn't have as good visibility.
Like I like that, like, and I think in the desert level, like a sandstorm will sometimes just blow in, and like, but it doesn't. That never happens for any other level. Like there's something like cool like that. You get the
Well, there's
giant vehicles.
There's the fog that
Yeah.
rolls in when you're in the
Yeah.
Alps.
I think
which-
that's like interesting, but like not for, like the like in the cities. It's like we got the train came in. You can get in the train now, and like that's like the.
Although
the
I do
big
love
thing.
the addition of the behemoth vehicles.
I like the
personally.
really cool
Yeah.
vehicles. I wish they could do something more than just be like
Well,
wreck
well, it's
everyone.
like-
To be like, I want this. It comes in and a building falls down at the same time. That would be pretty dope. I just want like I don't play
Or
that
like
game to
you
be
can
like.
bring down the building with the
Yeah,
blimp.
I don't
Like
want
make
that
it
game
a
to
little
be
more
serious.
organic.
Like I don't want Battlefield 1 to ever be a serious game. Like I'm okay with the campaign being serious, but like I want dumb stuff to happen in that game a
And
lot.
I'd argue I
Yeah.
still see a lot of dumb stuff happening
I
in
wish
multiplayer
it was
because
bigger and dumber sometimes.
I think it's mostly just like the technology that
Yeah.
they give you limits the dumbness a little bit at times.
I also
but-
think the subject matter, they don't want to make it too big and dumb.
I think they let the multiplayer
Yeah.
stay as big and dumb as they want it to be, and they let the single player be like no, we're taking this seriously. But multiplayer, they're like, some dude jumping on top of the tank with satchel charges and just running across and blowing it up, and you're like, yeah, all right. Like,
This is the same game that lets you throw
That's
tear
like-
gas at your opponents.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
mustard gas.
mustard gas.
Mustard gas
Way
is
worse
still
than
right.
tear gas.
Way worse than
actually.
tear gas.
Because
yeah.
it actually kills you.
Yeah.
horribly.
One thing that I noticed is I feel kind of gross complimenting this game on the fact that it had a working like launch. Like that's kind of like it's like, oh, we expect this to be shitty at launch.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's not. Wow.
Good
Like,
job,
yeah,
Battlefield.
okay,
You've done
okay.
it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, I don't want to like compliment it on
Battlefield
doing it
4
right.
is literally the only one that had a shaky launch in the entire
Oh, I know.
Battlefield
I'm
franchise.
not saying
though.
just in Battlefield. I'm
And I
kind of
think
saying
that
all
I personally
games.
think half of that is just because EA rushed them on Battlefield 4 more than they should have. I think with Battlefront and Battlefield 1 both having really smooth launches, like say what you will about Battlefield or Battlefront, but it did work right when it launched. It
Yeah.
worked smoothly, and Battlefield 1 did the same. I mean, it has glitches, but every game has glitches when it comes out. You have to say that I think EA's backed off DICE a little bit.
They've
I think
proven themselves. They're able to just
Di-
kind of.
personally, I think it's because they realize DICE. In my opinion, the best move DICE can make right now is to leave EA, because the bad name recognition with EA is like what probably hurts their sales the most. And DICE is a big enough studio that they have the money behind them that they could publish their own games if they really, really wanted to.
They wouldn't be Battlefield games though.
They could if they keep their IP when they leave. But
EA would
is
never
a
let
vindictive
that
Yeah,
happen.
and I
motherfucker.
don't think they do
No,
have
no.
that. Like EA has so much money they can throw so much behind Battlefield. Like I actually
is also
don't.
true.
I don't think they
Yeah.
have that money to be like make another Battlefield game like that big, that good looking, and everything to like have that. Like I think they
Not
need
quick of a
they
turnaround,
need
too.
EA to be like, we need that money to make that AAA giant
Yeah.
shooter. Like they can make a really good shooter, but it wouldn't be another Battlefield game.
They can make a good one, and they can make it last. Like, Battlefield DLC has always been really good to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I can see that point too. Like, EA, as much as we all don't like them at times, one, I think they've improved themselves a lot over the past, like, 2 years.
I think being voted the worst company in America a few
Yeah,
times.
it might not be saying that
like,
much, but
throw like a little fire.
well, they got
under their
voted, but they
bridges.
haven't been voted that in recent years, have they?
Yeah,
Were
and
they
that's
last-
what, I think
Yeah.
they're trying to work at that. They've come on everything.
But
like,
that's
we
the,
don't
that's the
think we're
thing. Like,
bad.
there's so many companies that would sit there and be like, "Well, you're wrong," and just wouldn't touch anything. EA, I mean, yeah, they still do some shitty stuff. Let's not mince words here. Like,
Yeah.
EA still sucks at times, but I think EA is at least making an effort to improve. And I feel like the success of Battlefield 1, how whole it feels, how like fun it is to play, is at least some element of them realizing we have good we have good good game studios under us. Let's let them work. Let's let them do what they're good at.
They're willing to
Yeah.
take risks now. Is I
Yeah.
think the difference. Like instead of being like
I think
Battlefield.
they know. I think
3
they
to
know
4,
Dice taking a risk on Dice
Yeah.
is not a bad idea.
Or being like
because
we're
they
gonna make a
produce-
Battlefield 1. We're gonna do a World War I game is like a huge risk. Like considering where
Yeah.
everyone else is. Where like when you played 3 to 4, you're like 4's a really great game, but like I played Battlefield 3. I'm playing Battlefield 4. I'm playing an expansion for 3 now. It feels like.
I will also argue the same.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
I
it's
would.
like-
I played a crap ton of Battlefield 4, and I really think that game's different in the ways that it's good that way. But like for someone to look at it, goes like, oh, cool, another modern shooter. And like that's what they should have done for Battlefield 5. Would have been that. They're like, no, we need to take a risk. We're willing to change things up, which
Oh yeah.
I think that's why that's getting them the goodwill now.
So let me ask, what's the next Battlefield game going forward? What is next year's game?
My-
How do they
Well,
move
next
past
next
Battlefield
year,
1?
next year's game is probably going to be Star Wars Battlefront 2. Let's be real here. The Dice has already said they're making it, so next year will probably be Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay.
That's
so
my guess.
Yeah.
But the year after, or whatever the next Battlefield game
What is the
going
next
to be,
core Battlefield game?
next core Battlefield. Well, I was
Battlefield
going to
2.
say that was the thing I was
World
going
War
to say. The next core Battlefield game I thought wouldn't be so much a core game. I feel like it's getting about time for Bad Company 3.
I feel like we've been saying that for
We've
like
been saying
5
that,
years
and
now.
literally, and every time Dice is asked about this, though, like
But
every time it comes up in interviews, Dice has never said they're never going to do it. Dice has always said we want to do
well,
it.
of course,
we just
no
don't
one's
want to
gonna
do
say
it yet.
Yeah.
never, and like walks away from
Well,
the
some
mic.
people do though. Like some game developers will say we're never making another one of these games. Like we want to leave it there.
Ghosts.
Bad Company. What I want, like the ideal Battlefield game to me, if they're gonna go back to the modern war setting, is give me the gameplay of Battlefield 4, like the polish, the nice weapon customization, vehicle customization, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But give me the characters and the fun of Bad Company in the story mode, so I can have those two like coming together. That's what I think would be their best move. I wouldn't be surprised if they did another World War II game after this, though, either.
So what's the gimmick? What's the hook?
What's the
How are we
hook?
going to get that money?
Well, one, bringing the characters back. Everybody like the reason we love Bad Company is not because of like the Bad Company campaigns. It's not because of the stories themselves. Hardly anybody ever talks about the actual plots of these games. It's the characters. There's a lot of heart behind them. They're fun to watch. They're fun to be. And I feel like that's a good angle for them to go forward. The hook is that we already have this fan base built around Bad Company. And I know several people in my life who are like, oh, the only Battlefields I play are Bad Company 1 and 2. So it's
Now-
like you get those people to come back, or at least consider coming back if they haven't come back since.
I'm just saying it might be a long time, because are those people still there? How much of the overlap is there with the real battlefields? Like,
That's also true. Like, that's a point to bring up.
All right, I think they come back with an unprecedented sequel, Battlefield Vietnam 2. No one will see it coming. Boom, got it. Another war that's
True,
like
we are-
hard and scary, and boom, right.
We're
in there.
far enough removed from.
We're already doing
from
Monster
Call of
Gas.
Duty
Agent
Black
Orange
Ops.
is just one step away. Like we're good.
we're just
Is there
starting back at
propaga-
zero. We're gonna
Yeah.
work our way through the wars again.
Is there a propaganda?
I wouldn't
minigame
mind,
where you
honestly,
say,
like-
everything's good.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not against it.
I honestly would like a World War II game.
Especially if Battlefield really
Yeah.
wants to set themselves apart going on, like they already did whenever Call of Duty released Infinite Warfare or like the trailer for Infinite Warfare, and then they were like, we're doing World War I.
Yeah.
If they want to keep that separation there, it wouldn't be a bad idea to stay in the past.
One
if they
last
really want
question for Battlefield. Do we think Battlefield is going to sell more than Call of Duty this year?
Do I think so?
Yes.
I think it has the potential. It's like I want to say yes, like every fiber of me wants to say
Then
yes.
say
Not
yes.
what you want
What?
to happen. Do
But
you
what I think will happen.
Do you
What I
think?
think will happen, unfortunately, as trends have shown, Call of Duty still sells well. Since Modern Warfare 3, each Call of Duty game has sold less than the game before it.
Right.
And it's continued to trend downward even with, I'm sorry, Black Ops 3, but Black Ops 3 even trended downward too. I actually thought it was a really good game. Mainly, I think Treyarch is the only company
Treyarch
that
is
makes
the
the good Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally think
I
if they
am
want it,
the
but
Call
it's,
of Duty.
at this point, it's just franchise fatigue. Like
Yeah.
most of the people I even talk to are like, man, like I enjoyed Call of Duty, but there's just so many of them coming out, like I don't want to touch it. To me, honestly, if Call of Duty wanted to increase their sales, ditch the other two companies, have Treyarch make one every 3 years.
That's just madness.
It's madness.
That's
It's
insanity.
It's
No.
fucking crazy, yeah. But at the same time, you get rid of that franchise fatigue, and each game would probably sell more. And you pick the company that, at least in my opinion, and in most people I talk to's opinion, has
Right,
made the higher
Sledgehammer.
quality game.
Sledgehammer
with that.
goes on to make the new Call of Duty. They're the best Call of Duty. They made Advanced Warfare the best Call of Duty.
There's actually talk about dropping them for Raven.
What?
That they're going to drop some for Raven Studios.
Raven has done good things in a long time.
Remind me who Raven is again?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
For our viewers at home who don't know that is.
They've been just freelancing, making like Call of Duty multiplayer for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Like that's all they've been doing, and they're
Got
not
it.
that great at it.
They
Oh.
just make like the DLC maps.
Raven's all right. Like Raven's all
Yeah.
right, but like they used to be like an actual developer, and they made actual video games. Now they like ran out of money, I think, and have been just freelancing, like finishing games up.
Admittedly, like Call of Duty's a pretty sturdy source of income if you want to attach yourself to any
Yeah.
franchise. As I say, we talk about like the sales have been declining, but they're still in
It's
the
still,
billions.
yeah.
I'm actually excited for the new Call of Duty in a way. Like,
Infinite Warfare?
Yeah,
Well-
other than like the very depressing name that it has, like I'm super.
Yeah,
into,
honestly,
like,
the
the
name is bad,
I
but
like the idea
watching
of jumping into a spaceship, flying into space, shooting some people, and then jumping onto their spaceship and killing them. Like that just sounds like
Yeah.
a good time.
Well, I brought that question up because my anecdotal sort of knowledge here was that people were not excited
Not
for
at
this
all.
Call of Duty. Like,
No.
people usually aren't, but I feel like more than ever,
Oh, because
this
they're
Call
like
of
real
Duty isn't getting
pissy right
shown.
now. I get.
Because you had like
It's
the
franchise
fans,
fatigue.
Well, the
Yeah,
fans
I
were
agree,
like,
like,
I want
that's why it's like-
modern combat. I'm here for the realistic warfare I know Call of Duty for, which is like the most patently false thing I've heard in my life. It's like, no, that shit's real at all.
Good thing they're re-releasing it
Yeah,
with
good
Infinite
job for
Warfare.
$100. Grab that hot Infinite Warfare.
Honestly, I will say, looking at the Call of Duty remastered gameplay, I will give them props.
It looks good.
It's one of the most overhauled like remakes of a game I've actually seen.
Have you seen Kingdom Hearts Rechain of
Please
Memories?
stop, please stop right
Remade
now.
from the ground up
Please
for the
stop
PlayStation
right
2.
now. Not
Alright.
on this podcast.
No, okay, but like they didn't just like they didn't just like up the graphics and call it a day.
It's
like,
not
they
a lazy remake.
They
Yeah.
redid the graphics.
Yeah.
They redid a lot of the animations to make them look better now that they have
Ooh.
the technology, or at least like the first person grabbing the gun and everything animations. I don't know
technology.
about the cutscenes
We
look
have
more or
the
less the
technology.
same, but the cutscenes were always better anyway because they mocap those.
Okay.
But like the animations look better, the graphics look better, the physics look like they work more or less the same, but a little better.
Yeah.
Like everything actually looks like they put effort into it. Hell, they even changed certain scenes. The one in particular because of retconnings in Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Like, in Modern Warfare 3, they reveal that Makarov was there and got Zakhaev out when he got his arm shot off in the
Ah,
one
yes,
scene.
of
Yeah.
course.
Okay.
The
Of course.
hot Call of Duty
Basic-
lore we
yeah.
all know and love.
Makarov was the
From Call of
villain in
Duty
2
4
and
and Modern
3,
Warfare
and then
3.
they retconned him into 1 in like a moment
Yeah.
in 3.
Yeah.
And then they added him into that scene in Modern Warfare Remastered.
I like it.
Yeah,
Wow.
which I was like, and Yuri, like the guy that you play as in Modern Warfare 3, who's supposed to be in the
Yeah.
backseat according to Modern Warfare 3's story back to 1. But
I
they
don't-
like actually did it. Like they actually put that effort in. I thought that was interesting.
Who's the dude I throw the knife at on the raft at the end of Modern Warfare 2?
General Shepard.
You
That's-
weren't on the raft. That's
Shepard.
after you get off the raft. You're at
all
Rust
right.
at that
Oh,
point.
That's the only Modern Warfare I finished.
Yeah.
I threw a knife at some dude's face.
You did. It
I
was pretty
clearly hit his
badass.
chest, but then it went into his eye,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
You're a
It's
really
also
good.
funny that people
You're a
say-
really good throw.
They're there for the realism, but like Modern Warfare was when it started being an action movie.
Like,
But that's fine. Like honestly,
Yeah.
if one game wants to be an action movie and like Battlefield's not realistic by any
No,
means.
I think
but they
Battlefield's
strive
also
to
a
be.
giant action movie that just has a really good intro where like we're not an action movie, then it's like just kidding, here's all of our action movie stuff, ha ha.
Yeah.
And
Except
like
I do
go put on the heavy armor with 100 and just run up the mountain and shoot everyone,
Oh, yeah.
and you can regen health. And I'm like, all right, we've gone off the
Actually,
rails,
the
Battlefield.
Sentry doesn't regen health on his own. You have to
one?
heal him. The Sentry Elite class.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I meant
fuck
like in
you,
the
Chase.
campaign. In the campaign,
Oh,
you
okay.
play that. You get to play that part, and you're like, I'm going up with a heavy machine gun like me
Oh,
with 200
yeah.
bullets, and you used to get shot 100 times. You're like, nah, it's cool. I'm fine. And like
I was gonna
that's
say like the
literally
elite
happened.
classes are one of my favorite additions to
I'm
Battlefield.
not
1.
talking. Multiplayer is great. We can all agree here.
Oh, yeah.
Single player.
I think we can all agree we've covered Battlefield quite
Enough.
enough for this episode.
I could talk about it this whole podcast if we had to, because that's also what
I was
That's
going
our
to say,
main
Thomas,
topic.
please tell me you've played something other than Battlefield.
I've also been playing Xenoverse again a little bit. Dragon
it
Ball Xenoverse.
Xenoverse 2 or Xenoverse 1?
I've been replaying 1 a bit.
'Cause
I might
2
pick
just
up,
came out.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pick up 2 sometime soon.
Okay.
I don't know.
your
Xenoverse
hero?
gets a little repetitive after a while, I will say, so that like kind of turned me off. But then I agreed to bring it as a backup game for Tuesday,
Good
so I'm like,
stuff.
I might have to.
What's your hero? I have to know. Like,
What's
what's your character?
Like, what's my character?
Are you like
Yeah.
a Super
Are
Saiyan?
you human?
Are
No,
you
I'm,
like,
Saiyan.
I'm a Saiyan. Of course
yeah.
I'm a Saiyan. That's the
Okay.
best choice.
All right.
You can be a Boo. You can be the Boo character. That's the best choice.
Yeah, but you can't go Super Saiyan as any race but a Saiyan.
But I can be a pink blob.
Yeah, but you can't go Super Saiyan.
Can I be a Namekian? Is that
Yeah,
allowed?
you can be
Yeah.
a Namekian.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can be a cyborg.
Oh, I want to be a
Wait, they
cyborg.
added
Android.
Oh, yes,
They added
Android.
androids
I
in the new
think they
one?
did.
I was gonna say you
I
can
think
like
they're- I
you
think
can
they're
be a
original.
human or a human or a Saiyan and you can make them look like an android or you can
Close
be a
enough.
You can be
human.
like a Frieza race people.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Which they have like no. I love that they have no official name for it, so they just call it Frieza Race.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what it's called in game. Frieza
That's
Race.
so bad.
It's
Oh,
so bad. Like they couldn't
no.
even come up with a fake name.
Toriyama, what are you doing?
Making Dragon Quest.
Fix the. Oh.
Shut up, Toriyama's perfect.
Yeah, you're right. He can do no wrong.
But they do have some Dragon Ball Super stuff in that game too, which makes me happy because it makes me know that they recorded English stuff for Dragon Ball Super, which means the English dub has to be coming.
Oh, is that whole game in English?
Yeah, if you buy the American copy, yeah, like the
Oh,
whole game's in English,
wow.
including like Goku Black is a character in the game, and they have English voice acting from Sean Schimmel for him.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's Sean Schimmel doing like a gritty voice. He's
It's
like,
good stuff.
"I will destroy you," like Goku if he gurgled rocks for an hour.
Okay.
But like still, the main thing that makes me happy about that is I'm like, oh yay, that means Dragon Ball Super English dub has to be around the corner.
I should have said Prince of Persia. God damn it. Okay. So wait, what actually is that game? Is it like how's the
Xenoverse?
combat? Like is
It's
it
an
like a
action
fighting
RPG.
game kind of, or
It's an action RPG.
do you mash buttons? Is
You
it
mash
like a Dynasty
buttons.
Warriors?
You have like a key gauge, and
You
you
fight
like,
like one-on-one opponents.
yeah, it goes up to like now in
But not, like,
Xenoverse.
not
it was,
Dynasty Warriors levels of like
Yeah.
enemies. Like
I was gonna say in Xenoverse it went up to like 3v3,
Yeah.
and this one now apparently you can get up to like teams of 6.
But it's not like a Raging Blast or something.
No, I wish it was more of a fighting game. That's my main like disappointment with Xenoverse is that it's very much like an action RPG that tries to claim fighting game but isn't.
Okay. Got it.
But
very much
it's
like
not
a Kingdom
terrible.
Hearts. It's not.
It
that
gets
great.
it gets extremely it gets extremely
Shit on a whole genre, why don't you,
Wanna
Chase?
fight you?
it does get
You're all
really
weak.
it does get really grindy at times too. Like it feels like I have to sit down and grind parallel quests, which are their like side missions in
Okay.
order to be strong enough to like keep going.
Just jump
That
into
being
that
said,
hyperbolic time chamber, man.
It's still pretty I wish they had that. That being said, it's still a fairly fun game. I enjoy it. It has a lot of great nods to like the Dragon Ball universe, obviously because you're going through time fixing it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 is literally like you're time traveling because a villain that they made for this named like Demigra is fucking with the Dragon Ball timeline by powering up villains and like making them win in certain scenarios. So you have to go help, and then you end up having to fight him, and then Goku helps you.
Okay.
Like real Goku
Yeah, my
comes
best
in
friend
from that
Goku
same
helps
timeline.
me.
Yeah, it's great. Like he
My
just comes in.
fanfic's coming together.
But it's like they like wrote Goku really well in
Yeah.
it. Like it feels like what Goku would be like in these scenarios, which is all I needed was like make sure Goku felt right.
Did
in this
Toriyama
one.
write this?
I think he had a hand in it.
He must have.
And honestly, I think it's partially canon now with like the way Super is.
Sure, why not?
Well, because they have Time Patroller Trunks in Dragon Ball Super.
Who's Time Patroller Trunks?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Well,
When Future Trunks came back in time in the Cell Saga,
That's this.
when he
Yeah.
when he went back to his future and killed 17 and 18 in Cell
Mm-hmm.
because he had trained and gotten stronger back in time, he also got in trouble with the Supreme Kai of Time
Oh,
for screwing with time.
that's what happens.
So as punishment,
Yeah.
he had to serve under the Supreme Kai of Time as a time patroller, which means that his job is just keep other people from doing exactly what he did
Okay, good
and screwing with
punishment.
time. Yeah. But
your punishment is to get stronger
Time
and fight
Patroller-
harder enemies.
Time
Run,
Patroller
Don!
Time Patroller Trunks is also a character in Dragon Ball Super now, which means that Xenoverse is like loosely canon maybe. They don't bring up Demigra or anything like that in Super.
Multiple dimensions, man.
Yeah, but it is like it deals with
Realities.
multiple dimensions, multiple realities, multiple timelines.
I am infinite.
Well, then
Which
anything
is
can
also
be
how
canon.
Dragon Ball's Xenoverse contains the current in-story excuse for GT's existence.
Okay.
Which is just, oh, this is a weird dimension that
That
Trunks'
sucks.
time travel antics fucked up. Well, yeah,
This
but
is all garbage.
but yeah.
But Mr. Satan's in it.
Hey,
How can
on
it
my
be garbage?
in Dragon Ball's defense, GT also sucked. So
Yeah.
this is just them getting it out of there. They also use it as a way to say that Demigra fucked with time, and that's why you have the episode of Bardock, the one where like Bardock gets sent back in time
Oh,
and becomes a
no.
Super Saiyan, is also explained that way.
You see all these lighthouses?
Exactly.
They represent the infinite timelines of the
Look-
Dragon Ball Z universe.
Look, when Dragon Ball Z introduced
How many
time
times
travel,
have you used Big Bang in a different universe?
when Dragon Ball Z introduced time travel in the Cell Saga, all things went out the window.
Yeah, you
And
know,
you're
it wasn't
making
when
fun-
there were aliens and when they found out Goku was a monkey man. No,
Yes.
no.
Oh, and you're making fun of that. You're a Kingdom Hearts fan, and you're
Oh,
making
I'm
fun
not
of the
making fun of
convoluted
anything.
touch.
Absolutely not.
That's not Joe's way to make fun of anime.
I'm not a hypocrite. No, never. I'm just a hipster. Totally different.
Totally different.
Chase,
But no, like I enjoy Xenoverse
about
and
you?
how it
What?
fits in with the overall jive of it.
Chase, what have you been
What
playing?
about you? You
no,
just
no,
said
no, no,
yourself.
no,
Okay.
I go last. It's fine.
I beat Gears of War 4.
Oh, I want to hear about this.
So
Are there going to be spoilers?
there will
is what
not
you're about to
actually
say?
spoil. Well, there'll be like one minor spoiler, but nothing like big. Like,
Okay, just for the sake of our listeners, like I
yeah,
want
no,
to
no,
make
I
sure
got
they
you.
know.
Don't worry. You see, like, finish. You do your big fight at the end. You're like, all right, we won. Everyone's claps all around for everyone.
It's not really over, is it?
No, so like it doesn't even go into that. It just kind of goes. The character pulls out a necklace and goes, "This was my grandmother's. I didn't know her," and just cuts to black.
What?
That is
Yeah.
it. I was sitting there and I was like,
Yeah,
Wait,
that's it.
is the
It's-
character somebody we should know?
Is she
Like,
the
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like the one of the main character. It's the,
Yeah, it's the main girl
The
character.
main girl character always pulls out like the necklace, and she's like, "This is my grandmother's."
The necklace is a
I never
lotus
knew her. And it
symbol, by
goes
the way.
like, "Bwah,"
She's
and it just
either
cuts.
the Swarm Queen
Something like that.
No.
or
Yeah.
Cortana.
that's what you were saying.
wait.
That's
Finally bring the
That's like
universes
the necklace.
together.
Okay. Warning for potential big spoilers because I'm about to ask a question
Go
and
ahead.
I'm hoping Chase answers it.
You're right here.
Do you see who's on it? Like who's on the
Nope.
necklace?
It's just a symbol.
It's the locust symbol.
Is it the locust?
It's the locust symbol.
Yeah.
So it's Mira.
Probably.
Yeah.
As someone who's never played Gears of War, this means nothing to me. So
Okay.
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
immune.
played Gears, then
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like the locust queen leader.
is her name Mira?
Yeah.
So
So
it's
she's also
obviously
she's
Locust.
also
Yeah.
a human.
And you never and
For like they've never touched on that subject ever in like Gears 1, 2, 3. Mira's just a human. You meet her in Gears 2 and she's a human.
Yeah.
And Baird's like, man, I wasn't expecting her to look like a human. And then like that's the last time they ever talk about it.
I thought you don't actually meet the Swarm Queen.
The
no,
locust,
the
you meet the
locust queen,
locust
the previous
queen.
games.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah, in Gears 2, in Gears 1,
Swarm
2,
and
and
locust
3.
are different.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
they were
So,
the same.
are they?
Swarm is like not really, but like the swarm is like the locust now, and the locusts are like the previous war.
So
They
it's
just
like
call them the swarm now.
the swarm has a
They
because
have
look
minor differences.
they look different.
Are
Some
they like
swarms-
evolved?
Yeah.
Like an evolved species?
It's like StarCraft.
They're more like a we didn't actually all die species that you thought we did.
Yeah, because at the end of Gears 3, there was just like a
genocide
big
them.
multi-weapon that genocided the locust.
They
and
activated the Halo ring.
Basically, yes, except
Yeah.
it didn't
You want to
kill
give me
humans.
the plot rundown real quick? Just hit
They-
every spoiler along the track.
They use the
Yeah,
hammer of
pretty much.
dusk.
The Hammer of Dusk, is that what they called it?
No.
Because I was like, I don't remember them calling it anything other
Called the
than
Pillar
like
of Autumn.
Marcus's dad.
Called the Ring. They activated the Ring system.
You see, I didn't remember anything other than like Marcus's dad.
Grave Mind.
Cortana.
Marcus's dad.
Battling the
No. It's literally like just Marcus's dad is just sitting there. He's like, I made a weapon to kill all of the locusts and the lemnant. And then he activated it. He's like, I lemnant it myself, and then dies. And then the locust queen doesn't die because she's not a locust or a lemnant, apparently. Which raised even more questions about her fucking origin
But
that
you're,
they never
you're also
answered.
the best part of that whole ending is Marcus takes off the do-rag.
He does.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, he has hair. And then it ends. And you're like, oh, dude, that's all right.
And then in the chapter of Gears 4 we played, Marcus puts the
do-rag back on, signifying he's back in
The start of a new trilogy.
symbolizing we're back at it again.
Should I play these games?
I'm gonna bring my Xbox One over and we just play. I got them all.
Honestly, they're really fun.
Yeah, they're really fun games.
How long are they?
solid.
How long's the campaign?
6-8 hours.
Oh, that's short. Okay.
Per
Yeah,
game.
they're not bad.
Beat-
And
They're
they're
shooter games.
and they're
Okay.
honestly like fun campaigns.
Yeah, co-op
Like
are like
even
a
if the
lot of
story,
fun.
even if the story can have like some holes every now and then,
I mean, it's
If
like-
the stories are what you'd colloquially call not that great,
they're like big and dumb and great.
Yeah, it's like 8
they
hours
fully
of big
embrace-
guys yelling
yeah.
at bigger things.
I
with
believe-
like melodrama thrown in for good measure. But it's
Yeah.
honestly
fantastic.
they're honestly like some of my favorite campaigns in like games I've played. At least like shooter games for certain.
I think the fun factor is the most important part
Yeah,
of a video
they're
game.
fun.
And they're
Yeah.
fun. I'm not gonna say like
And you
they're
hear
the
people
most
sometimes
fun
going,
things ever.
ah, shit.
Yeah, that's all I
favorite
want.
thing. I just love like they're never like quippy. I don't know why like annoys me now is like quippy heroes. They're just like
Yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time something goes wrong and they're like shit. We need to get out of here.
Yeah,
Dumb.
they're very
Like,
straight.
straight.
Their dialogue is so straight to the point. And you got John DiMaggio voices Marcus, the main
Yeah,
character.
it's so good.
Okay, all right.
So it also becomes way funnier when you picture Bender in all of these scenarios.
Oh.
But-
Yep.
So let me ask you, out of 10, because you know this is very important
Yeah.
that we get this hard scientific rating. How do you feel about Gears of War? You know, give
Like
us a
franchise
score.
overall?
I can
No,
only
no,
do
no.
the I can only do the campaigns.
I'm sorry, Gears of War 4.
I can only do the campaigns since that's the only thing I can play. I don't have online.
I don't give a flying
Well, tell me,
doodle.
well, 'cause the campaign is like most of what I
setting the
touch
scene
Gears
for the
games.
audience.
I just want
letting
that
them know
campaign.
my
Yeah,
background.
I want that silky smooth campaign.
I think it's an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's-
like where the Metacritic's sitting.
Yeah, I think it's really
Yeah.
good. I think it's not
It's a
as good
solid
as some of
game.
the older ones. I think the characters are just like really quippy all the time. Like I don't feel like they have a fear in their heart for like, oh man, our people are getting kidnapped by monsters and the locusts are back home, and they're like, haha, that's funny, and like continue on with
Yeah.
like the day. And you're
Yeah,
like,
Gears 1,
what?
2, 3, they were scared shitless
They were
of
all the time
locusts.
like,
Yeah.
shit. Like that's then the whole like everything's just like, god damn it.
it's like
Why won't it work?
everybody called the games like big and dumb, but at the
Yeah,
same time,
no,
you're
it's
like,
like, that's
a
what
real,
happens.
yeah, like a real person in this
Yeah.
scenario,
Like
they'd
some-
probably just be like, oh shit, fuck, damn it, shit,
It's like-
shit.
God damn it,
it's like
Jack,
something-
rip the door.
You
Like
see a
that's
guy
all
with
it
a giant
is.
sword yelling grind coming at you, you're like, oh shit, and then you run.
There's something like brutally honest about the Gears games. There's like
Or
no.
these big dumb men are constantly like, shit, we're going to die, or just Jack, rip the door. Like that's the two things they
Yeah.
always go over.
Is this like a Star Wars Episode 7 kind of situation? Like
You can just
they
have,
just
like-
kind of rebooted the series and it's like a safe
Yes.
entry?
Yes, it's a very safe entry.
Yeah.
Like that.
But
ending-
admittedly, I feel like you kind of need when you're bringing a series back that like has an ending
I
like
don't feel
that.
like it's been gone for like that long. I think you were like ready for it, so they could have done anything with it. Like because like, excluding Judgment, of like Judgment's in there, like it's only been like 3 years since the last Gears game. Like it hasn't been really that long.
But at the same time, they're handing it off to a new developer, which even though that developer is made up of a lot of people who worked previously on the series,
Yeah.
people see new developer and they're like, shit, I don't know if I want to buy this because it's not the guys who made all the games I love.
I
So-
forgot about that. They changed studios.
Coalition.
So there's a
That's
it's
right.
the same way
which
in
is
the
the
same
name
way
of a
that
cog unit,
yeah,
or like
in the
a
same
cog
way that
team.
in the same way that Star Wars Episode 7 is the first one made by Disney, so Disney had to prove that they can make a Star Wars movie before like getting experimental with it. They had to prove they can make a Gears game before like trying
Yeah.
to push it too far and alienating all of their fans.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I'm excited to see like what they do next.
And the
with
general
it.
consensus seems to be from like Gears fans and everybody like
Yeah.
this is a fun game, like it's worth
it's
playing.
legitimately fun. Like there's some stuff I I played it on hardcore, which is like the hard. And I don't want to ever do that again.
Because you are hardcore.
That's the
I'm
second-
so
that's the
hardcore.
second hardest.
hardest
They're still
difficulty. Yeah,
insane.
Like it's just not fun because you're like, oh, these enemies are just sponges now.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
just becomes like a whole
But I
clip
mean,
takes
it's a
down
shooter
dude.
problem.
Yeah.
Admittedly, that's the
Yeah.
way it has been in like every.
Oh
year's
no,
game
I'm just saying like
before
I
it.
just played it then. I'm like I don't recommend anyone to do that if you're looking for like a better time with that game. Like it's a whole clip to take someone like a regular enemy down, and you're
Ooh.
like just quickly and you're like just going at it, and it can be a little annoying.
Okay. Anything else you got in your docket?
So I started playing Titanfall 2.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
it's
Okay. Why didn't
great.
you lead with Titanfall 2?
Because before I beat it.
Okay. All right. All right.
Titanfall 2,
Lay it
first
on
couple
me.
hours of the campaign, really good, real snark. Robots like, like stone, like that stone face, like, I'm a robot. This is me doing robot speech
I
with
love
you.
giant mechs.
And it is also like snarky at the same time and notes your snark if you're being snarky with it because you have dialogue options in it. Like when you're running around, so just press X or V to be like, he's like, I hope you're safe. He's like, you can be like, you two are like, nah, I got this, and he'll like respond differently to your stuff. It's not like any like dialogue actual choices. It's just like, how do you want to be talk to your robot? Do you want to be a dick to it, or do you want to be like a little snarky guy with him? And it's all right. And I'm gonna be honest, I was running on a wall and I shot 3 people, then jumped off and like slammed my fist down to someone's face. And I'm like, this game is pretty good. And you're moving like 30 miles per hour, just clipping, going through people. It's
Titanfall was like-
awesome.
Titanfall is definitely the innovator in wall running and first-person shooter games.
You're right. It's the best Mirror's Edge game there's ever been.
That's probably true,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's
Honestly.
great. I'm loving it. I
I,
want to play
I
the
had a
multiplayer.
lot of
Oh,
fun with Titanfall 1.
I need to get this
Too
game
bad
out,
I've
don't I?
heard that Battlefield 1, since it's released a week after Battlefield 1 pretty much, I've heard Battlefield 1's like just still the multiplayer king and not be playing Titanfall 2 online anymore.
I do not understand that decision by
Yeah, I
EA.
think that when you were talking
Yeah,
about like,
like to
DICE
release
is
some
real.
like-
That's where DICE go, and I'm like, and they let Respawn just be thrown right under a bus, just
Yeah.
kill him, motherfucker.
It's like whoever made the decision to release Rise of the Tomb Raider on the same day as Fallout 4.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rise of the Tomb
It's
Raider's
like-
a really good game. It's like the thing.
Yeah,
to
it's like
do.
the problem isn't that it's bad, it's that they picked to release, and this time it's worse just because EA picked 2 titles that they own, like
Yeah.
2 properties
Like
own.
they could have fixed
Yeah.
this problem.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
could have like let Titanfall 2 come out in January in like
Yeah,
a
or-
dead month. And
Like,
it could
yeah, it
have
would
been
be
fine.
perfect right then.
Yeah, it gives people a few months that, like, I don't think people are going to stop playing Battlefield 1
Right.
by that point any means, but, like, the initial hype has died down and people are like, yeah, I'll play this, but I'm willing to play other games right now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, boom, Titanfall 1 fills that gap. Or if they really want it to be out for, like, the holiday season, wait till, God, like, early November. Maybe release it on the same day as Call of
I was
Duty
gonna
if they
say,
want to directly compete.
The worst part is Call of Duty is going to come out and then cannibalize those sales even more.
Yeah.
So it's like, I understand their decision to get these games out before Call of Duty, too.
Mm-hmm.
This
Though-
game's awesome.
Yeah, admittedly,
Like-
Battlefield 1, I feel like for the first year in a while, or for the first year, as far as I can remember, Battlefield was the game that had the more hype built around its release than Call of Duty in
Yeah.
the shooter market.
It seems like it.
Yeah, like if you look, I mean, like trailer likes on YouTube are not a great representation, but Battlefield
Democracy.
1 was the most liked trailer on YouTube right when it came out, and Infinite Warfare was the most disliked.
You also have thermite shurikens in Titanfall 2, so you like chunk a shuriken and just like insta kills an enemy.
They got really Japanese.
They got real
They got
crazy with it.
real weird.
Well, I mean,
They
when
got-
you're getting like when you're already dealing with mecha, like
Yeah, you're like
You
it's
might
like,
as well
It's
embrace-
a progression, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, Titanfall 2, what do we add? Swords. I'm like, well, you're gonna add shurikens too at that point,
yeah, they
right?
have like sword dudes,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
Wait,
lightning
do they have, like-
swords.
That was
they
like
have
the
swords
second
for
boss
the-
I fought.
they have like
They have
swords for the-
bosses?
So like, yeah, you're fighting like you're like going against like enemy mechs, and they're like it's like each level has like a boss to it.
Oh my god.
Am I the only one who misses boss fights in video
Yeah,
games?
well, shooters.
I think in
In
shooters,
shooters,
it's
yes.
very different. Like where in Titanfall
Yeah.
Warfare you're in a giant mech and you like you can see their health bar and everything, but like in a shooter it's like you just shoot like you shoot
Oh,
a
you
mech a
ever play
bunch.
that?
It's fine to like shoot a mech a bunch, shoot a dude a bunch. You're like this is dumb. This
I
is
think-
stupid.
you ever
think
play
that-
Lost Planet 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh,
add giant
yeah.
monsters and
Yeah,
stuff like
you
that.
should. We should make. There should be a Lost Planet 2 remake. Is all I'm hearing.
we never
I
got the
just-
best Lost Planet game. It was Japanese only.
What was
What
it?
game?
It was
I didn't hear it.
EX Troopers, I think it's called. It's like a spin-off of it, and it's like anime as fuck.
Oh,
And it's like a
I don't know, Lost
third-person
Planet-
kind of like.
Lost
People
Planet
didn't
2
like
is pretty
Lost
fucking
Planet 2.
anime.
I know. Yeah, it got super anime.
I enjoyed Lost Planet 2.
I
I'm
really
not
like
going to say
Lost
it's a
Planet
great
2.
game, but like if I had had 3 friends to play it with,
There's
it would
a
have been so
thousand
much
problems
better.
in Lost Planet 2.
Oh,
but
the
it's
story is
also
complete trash.
awesome.
The story is
Yeah, it was
complete
buggy.
trash.
It was like a buggy game.
It was
too.
a buggy game. The story of the game is really bad. It's mostly just a thin excuse to get you from giant monster fight to giant monster fight. But the giant monster fights were so much fun that it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, Let's make this
I'm
a thin
on this
excuse
train
for
going
giant
1,000 miles
monster
per
fights.
hour, or like a giant like worm chases me down. I begin these turrets and fight it with 2 other people. It's
Yeah,
good time.
and it's like the way that the big turret gun
my
you had to
friend
use
gets
worked.
eaten,
Yeah,
it's like good.
One guy controls the turret, the 2 other guys have to like load shells into
Yeah.
it like frantically while also like trying to keep it from eating the thing.
Who published that game?
Capcom.
That was Capcom.
Capcom.
Was it developed internally too?
Yeah,
Was it?
I thought Lost Planet was.
I know Lost Planet 1. I think Lost Planet 1 was. I'm not sure about 2. I know 3 wasn't.
3 was made by like an American.
Yeah, I thought it was
company.
made in the West.
Yeah, 3 was, and it reflected that a lot. Like I
really,
played 3, it was very
really
Western.
Did. I beat 3.
I did too.
That game's like all right.
It's not a bad. The
That game's
ending,
like that game's an official like all right.
the ending was bad.
I
Like
don't even remember. That's
just
how much
because
of
the
that
ending
game-
fast forwarded, like all of a sudden it was like you had the last boss fight, which was pretty fun, and then like as soon as that boss fight ended, you got like a 10-minute cutscene that felt like it should. Honestly, it was one of the few times like this feels like it should be like a half-hour cutscene or like a 40-minute cutscene.
Bring the Metal Gear Solid cutscenes into here, please.
And then like it ended on a weird note that set it up for a sequel that will never exist.
Oh yeah, no. Last Planet was like a bad IP. Like not like I like the series, but like that IP never like took off anywhere.
It's like Army of Two. It deserved better than what it got.
Yeah,
a lot
Army
of
2
games,
deserves
yeah.
better developers. You're right. 'Cause those games were not
Army
that
of Two
hot.
also had Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel, the last one that ever came out, actually had pretty good boss fights. Was another thing I'd put in its favor.
So while no one played Army of Two this week, I did play Civilization 6.
How is it?
It's real fucking good. It is.
I still haven't played Civ 5. I own it. It's been sitting on my computer. I haven't
What?
touched it.
Civ 5 might be one of my favorite games ever made. Like, potentially. I don't think I like Civ 6 as much, but that's because I just haven't,
Yeah.
I haven't dived deep enough yet. I don't know enough
You're
about
only
it
in
and
the
the
kiddie
systems.
pool right now, boy.
Let me tell you, this thing goes deep.
Yeah.
This is a deep Civ game.
It's a deep game.
Makes Civilization Revolution look like kiddie shit.
Well, it is.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great game.
I'm not saying it's not a
Anyway,
great game. What?
Civ 6 is really cool. It feels like a natural progression from Civ 5 in terms of mechanics because they have basically, bless you,
Thank
they
you.
have just about every single system in there. Like, usually when they jump from like Civ 4 to Civ 5, like you lose some stuff. There's some huge overhauls, but it's really familiar. Like if you've played 5, you know exactly what's going on in 6. They've basically recycled almost everything they had, but they've overhauled it too. So basically, like religion is totally different. I haven't even tried to learn it yet. Do you guys even know what I'm talking
Same.
about?
Yeah, I'm
No.
actually totally 100% with you right now. I played a lot of Civ 5. I'm super excited to play Civ
Bless
6,
you
but I'm
again.
waiting. Thomas, stop.
I'm sorry. Religion is difficult. It's
I'm
only-
allergic to religion.
Religion makes me sneeze.
I'm allergic to religion is a Christian.
Did you play any Civs before?
Did I? No.
Never before.
I played a little bit of Civ Revolution.
Okay.
It's the only one I've
It's a
touched.
great game.
It was pretty fun. I played it like 3 times though. I played it at a friend's house.
You look at
and
me
I
like I'm
hung
going
out
to
there.
disagree with you about Civ Rev, and I've been like, nah, it's a really good game the whole time.
But yeah.
I'm with you, Joe.
We don't need to go too deep into Civ 6 because don't even have that much to say about it. I haven't even finished a whole
What
game
leader are you
yet.
playing as? then?
Well, it's Civ. If
Obviously,
there's one thing I know about Civ, it's that all the games take like 3 days
Yeah.
to complete.
I'm playing on like quick too, so like, yeah, it's taken a while. Obviously, I'm playing as the greatest empire on the face of the planet, the Roman Empire.
Not America,
No,
but Teddy Roosevelt is their leader, I hear.
Teddy Roosevelt's in my game. He does not like me.
Teddy Roosevelt.
He is not happy with me right
I'd
now.
be
Have they
okay,
kept- have they
I'd be
kept the
okay with
thing-
Teddy Roosevelt hating me, to be honest. I'd be like totally fine with that.
Have they kept the thing where Gandhi is still the most aggressive
Gandhi
of
is
the world leaders?
also in my game. He hates my guts.
I just love that. Like I read about that. Like it was literally a glitch in the first Civ game that like the aggression stat for Gandhi was supposed to be abysmally low, but the game just couldn't quite read it right, so it reset it to as high aggression as humanly possible.
It was something like it did a -1 in the code, and since he was at like 0, it became like a negative number, but the way that the coding rationalized it is just this insanely high number for aggression. So he just nuked the fuck out of everybody.
And I loved
Peace
and
through
then from
war.
every game forward from that, they just decided to keep that element because
Yeah.
it was hysterical.
He has an agenda that's like nuclear power. He respects people who like hold power through nuclear weapons, and then his other agenda's like, yo, I hate warmongers.
That's fantastic.
Gandhi's a hypocrite.
He looks like Hey Arnold in this game. He's got a big football head.
Good.
I like it a
It's
lot.
like Gandhi looks in real life too. To be honest, like if you look at the picture of Gandhi, he's like a really skinny man with like a big football head.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the art style because I just love the 1 and 5, and this is way more cartoony. But I don't know how they could have gone forward with like a more sort of like realistic-y look. I think this is the right step forward, is to go to cartoony. So then for 7, they could come back and
Yeah.
do like a new sort of realistic-y slip
Ultra
over face.
realistic.
Ultra realistic. I want to see the wrinkles on Julius Caesar's face.
Can't. How many wrinkles do you think you have then? Like at that.
He's got a
point?
lot.
He's
He's got crow's feet probably on his eyes.
he's
you
probably
know.
pretty stressed.
He's under a lot of stress.
Stress.
That's what happens when you got to run the Roman Council. So
Back on to real things.
I think that's about it for what we've been playing. It only took a bajillion years.
1 second.
What?
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is
All
still
right.
been going on.
All
Give me-
right.
give
Monster
me-
Hunter 4 is ongoing.
Give me my minute.
Dude,
I
the
think I'm
Monster Hunter
halfway-
Minute.
I think I got halfway through. I fought the main monster from this game, like the title.
The monster.
Yeah, the Gore Magala.
Is he on the cover?
Yeah, he's the cover monster. Like,
Okay.
every year's a cover monster. So like first one was like Raphios.
Is that like a cover girl?
I
Get the cover
played this
monster.
game.
So it's like
I played
Pokemon?
this one. Yeah, like Pokemon. I fought it. It was tough, and I won, and I felt like a real hero. That's all.
Did the credits roll?
No.
Okay.
That game.
No.
There
Good.
are no credits.
Good to know.
Don't worry. I think I'm halfway through. Because now I'm getting into like the old monsters. Now they're a different color and harder.
Oh, I love the reskins.
I love the like you're Rathian. Now it's gold, and you're like, what's going on? Like everything. It gets so much harder.
If Dragon Quest taught me anything, it's that if you find an enemy with a different color scheme,
It's so much harder.
he's stronger.
He's a tougher boy.
Yeah.
I learned that from Skyrim.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He's a big tough boy.
My armor's really good too. It's on point.
On fleek?
Yeah, it's on fleek. I can sharpen real good now.
Okay. Good
Instead
to
of
know.
like sharpening like just goes and you're good.
Wow. Just one.
Just when and I'm like, yeah.
What do you guys say that we build a list?
Let's build a list.
Hashtag.
Let's finish this up.
Now, Ralph, I know you've been thinking about it all podcasts.
Yep.
What do you got for us today?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Any burning lists you need to talk about, preferably of the video game variety.
Oh man, I was gonna do top 5 rainbows, but
Rainbow Six.
Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege.
Rainbow Six Vegas
No,
2 is above Siege.
Disagree.
Well, you're wrong. Get off my
I'm
podcast.
trying to think.
Actually, there are a lot of elements I liked better in Vegas too, but overall gameplay.
Character customization.
Back
Yeah.
to building the list.
All right. What are we actually doing? Does anyone want to do anything if Ralph's got nothing?
I'll think.
You can keep thinking.
Yeah.
Let's just throw some stuff around. What have we talked about today? We talked about shooters. Are we
Top
ranking
5
shooters?
Monster Hunter monsters.
The Gorgagon.
Rathalos.
The bo.
You're saying Bobo.
He's not
Say
a monster.
what?
He's a man.
Say
He's
what?
a
Say
man.
what?
He's more than a man.
You
I don't know.
want to go
We
top
talked
5
about-
shooter franchises?
Franchises, not individual games.
Yeah, no.
So like, which ones have had consistent quality?
Yeah.
Top 5 shooter franchises.
Which one is my favorite?
Well, I mean, that's what it always boils down
Yeah.
to. This
All right.
is
Do you
our
want to do top
list.
5 shooter franchises? Just of
We
all
can't
time?
think of anything else, so
Okay.
let's go for it.
Let's do it. I like it. Like I said, organic. This is the levolution of podcasts.
The Levolution.
I feel like there's some good.
They did
verticality.
overuse that buzzword when they were advertising that game, but it was
It-
honestly
It would
great...
not have been a buzzword if they didn't overuse it.
Yeah, but it was honestly it was a great mechanic in that game. Like it worked really
And
well.
also a great word.
Okay,
Yep.
so for the
Battlefield.
I already put Doom on here.
Well, Doom.
So Doom is on.
Doom is the grandfather of all shooters, really. I mean,
It literally-
Wolfenstein came first, which Actually, I'll put.
You get to put one on. We're going in a circle.
Okay, then I'm just gonna put Battlefield.
Quake.
We'll get to it.
Just the one guy who's.
Are we limiting this to first-person shooters, or are we allowing third-person shooters?
We're allowing third person, I feel like.
Really?
I would say
I think
let's
that opens
limit
it up a lot.
I
I
would
think
say
we
let's
want-
limit it
Do
to
you want to limit it to
first,
third
just so we
person
can
or
keep-
just first person?
I think first-person.
I say we limit it to first person just for
It's
the
up
sake
to
of.
Ralph.
I mean, are we just gonna throw in like, yeah, Red Dead Redemption? Like what?
I'm
It's
just saying.
up
I'm
Ralph.
saying we just keep it to first person for the sake of
No, Ralph.
brevity.
Yes,
You have
yes.
to. You have to like shorten it to something, but it has to like be like first person, third person. You get to pick.
Working
You're the
under
list.
constraints.
You're the list maker, but you gotta constrain it, buddy.
I feel like there's gonna be
You
like,
gotta put the Python back in the bag.
I need
Restrain
a,
it to first person so
Yeah.
we can be gone
Yeah, there's
in
gonna be
less
like
than
50 if I-
7 hours.
Oh,
Ralph,
okay.
I need a ceiling to
I'm worried
break.
about time. I see.
yeah. That's it.
So what's your pick?
We used a lot of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's give
sure.
it first person because I feel like third person would be too much because I have a lot of third person in mind.
Okay, what's
Alright.
your first-person pick?
I'm gonna pick Medal of Honor because that was the first-person shooter I played.
Oh,
Same,
man.
actually. That was one of the first person
I love
shooters
Medal of
I
Honor
played.
Warfighter.
It says a lot that when we talked about this list, I'm
Warfighter
like, there's like
wasn't-
3 first-person shooter series I can think of.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Medal of Honor
There's way more than
Warfighter
that.
was a solid game.
Yeah.
Like, it gets bad rap for no reason.
Halo.
Like, how can you not?
I forgot about Halo.
I mean, I was
I'll
gonna
give
put it on. And
I was
Yeah.
gonna put
Okay,
it, but like the
alright.
last 2 games just like dropped the franchise for me. So.
I mean,
You're right. Medal of Honor's
You can
last
put
2
Call of
games
Duty
have
on there.
dropped the franchise
Call of
into
Duty.
non-existence.
Yeah.
I put Call of Duty.
that
Someone
one's such like a mixed
shoot
bag.
That was my
me.
next one, but like
Shoot
Halo,
me.
Yeah.
you dead.
Okay. All right.
Bang! You're dead.
My vote doesn't matter anymore. I'm dead.
Finally.
No, the ghost vote counts for twice as much.
Oh shit.
Got the ghost vote.
I put Wolfenstein on there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
As the originator of the FPS genre, it belongs on there.
that's fair.
And the New Order's really good. So.
And the
New
New
Order's
Order
pretty
is a
good.
solid game.
And Enemy Territories,
Oh, okay, I
Wolfenstein
think
is
of
a
it.
good game.
You're allowed to pass and come back.
I can't think of it right
So
now.
I'm an FPS player,
Finally,
so trust
time to
me,
put
I'll
it
be
in. Wake!
All right.
Quake
I played
Arena
so many
is
FPS
awesome.
How do we feel about
No.
arena hero-based shooters?
Are you about to put Overwatch on there?
I don't even like Overwatch. I'm
Good.
just wondering if it is legally
Would Overwatch make our top 5? Let's just stop. Everyone just stop right here.
No.
no. But would
There's-
TF2 make
It's
our
not a
the
bad
would
answer.
game.
TF2 make our top 5?
Never played it.
It's not a bad
What do they
game,
want? I never
honestly.
played that
Like Overwatch is like well designed, but God, I don't
But
like
it's
it.
also a garbage game
Portal.
for people
For,
who suck.
for reference, I just put Portal on the list because it is a first-person shooter.
I
Prove
The
me,
witness.
Prove me wrong.
I play Overwatch for the plot.
This may
Cute
be-
10 half-naked girls.
This may be a very new series,
Gal
but I'm
Gun.
putting Titanfall on there.
Oh,
it
yeah,
only has,
yeah,
it only has
Titanfall,
2
okay.
entries.
I'm putting Galgun on there.
Galgun is a first. Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm just gonna put this.
It's
'cause
the
I
most
like
first
it.
person. There is no gun even on the screen.
That is immersion.
Yeah.
I'm in that game.
I just like how this is all caps.
Well, it started with Doom because Doom is all caps,
Yeah.
and no
Yeah.
one uncaps locked
Yeah,
it.
I just didn't uncaps lock it.
House of the Dead. Okay.
If Typing of the Dead can go under that subcategory, I'll fucking fight to the death to get that on there.
I don't
Oh,
think I
Typing
even,
of the Dead can be on there, then they already won. House
Yeah.
of the Dead is already-
All right, cool. Then we're in.
I don't think I have anything else, unless you guys have something.
take a
I'm,
look at
I'm
it.
kind of exhausted.
Resident
sources?
Evil 7.
I was thinking, do we do like
No, that's third person.
Resident Evil 7 is gonna be first person.
Yeah, but it's not a shooter.
You got a gun in it.
Do you?
I've seen the gun in the trailer.
Okay.
I've seen the gun.
Yeah,
I
but that
saw
we're talking
it.
about entire
I know, I'm joking.
franchises,
I'm joking.
and we can only base that off of one singular entry.
I remember.
I feel stupid that I can't think of more.
I can't think
There-
of anything to add to this. unless you
There's
wanna-
one that I played when I was younger, and I don't remember the name of it. But
Well,
it
we
was
can all be
really
honest
good.
here, just for like 1 second, pause and step back. Not a lot of first-person shooters are good. So like not remembering them says a lot about
I
first-person
would
shooters
more-
we play.
There's one
No,
series I
it's like-
hate. I'm not gonna say because I don't want anyone to
What is
defend
it?
it. I'm not gonna say
What
it.
is it?
Say it.
It's GoldenEye. Don't put it
Yeah,
on the list.
no,
it's
it's
garbage.
It's garbage.
It's not garbage.
It's garbage.
It's all right.
It's garbage.
It's trash.
Get it out of here.
Uh,
Honestly, if we can't think of them, then they probably don't belong on a top 5. I think we have more than 5 good picks already.
Yeah.
5 good picks.
Like,
all right, that works for me.
I really want to think that. It's fine.
Okay,
I'm gonna get
let's
my phone
start
and
with
just rerun my
things.
memory a little bit.
Let's start with things we can cut, because that tends to be a good way to start, and then we get ourselves down to 5.
We have exactly 11 games. I'm cutting Portal. I put that as a joke.
Works for me.
All right.
That brings us down to 10. We
We have
got
10.
5 games to cut. All right, so you handed it. Do I make a case for which one to cut?
Oh, yeah, you're allowed to make a cut.
All right. Before we get started, the exact parameters of this, we're talking overall franchise quality. Like games that more or less the franchise as a whole has been good.
Yeah.
Not like just it has some fantastic entries, but the franchise as a whole.
Yeah.
has-
What if one game is really good, but the rest are all terrible? How does that
That's-
factor into the math and the science?
Well,
I think it's very much our opinion of if that game is so good that it redeems the franchise in and
Yeah.
of itself.
Okay.
Now, I would make the case.
Pause. Bioshock?
No, garbage. Done.
Never played Bioshock.
It could be on there. It's good, but
Put it on
let's
there.
Fine,
just
put it
keep-
on there.
I was gonna say let's just keep it off there for the
Okay.
sake of
Put it on
brevity.
there and then cut
Put it
it.
on
I-
there or cut it.
I'm
I would
going
fight-
through just like games like Half-Life.
I would fight to not have that. Fuck
Half-Life's
Half-Life.
overrated.
All
It's
right.
extremely overrated.
I can't-
It's super
I
important,
still
but it's
can't believe you
overrated.
didn't put Destiny on there.
I
Like,
did.
thought- oh, you
Oh, you put that? I didn't
Ralph
see
put Destiny in
Destiny.
there?
He just snuck that one in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say.
Exercise the
Wait.
cancer.
Hang on. Before we even do any more cuts, we're just gonna say what we have right now. We have Doom, Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Halo, Call of Duty, Wolfenstein, Quake, Titanfall, Destiny, and House of the Dead.
All right, first one on the chopping block for me is Destiny. It has one entry that kind of disappointed me personally. when
Ralph,
playing it.
I'm the only one gonna
Ralph?
be defending it. so
Ralph?
Is Ralph gonna
Then
die on
defend
this
it,
one?
Ralph.
All right.
I'm gonna lose. I know that.
No.
Yeah, you
If
are.
you are allowed to save
Ralph, I don't feel that strongly about a lot of things right now.
You're allowed to make a case for
it.
it.
Ralph might feel the strongest about Destiny than all of us feel about any other game.
Oh, you haven't heard me start
I
my
know I
Battlefield
haven't,
fight yet.
but I'm just saying, give him a chance.
Okay, like.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Eric, like it's a new entry, like for a studio, and they took a big leap from it from Halo that they had to like abandon, like even though it was really successful, and like yeah, it had problems at the beginning, and like there may be still problems with microtransactions that happened, but like overall, if you like that kind of franchise, like FPS, like I like it better than Borderlands in terms of looter shooter.
Oh, thank God we didn't put Borderlands on here.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even. Shouldn't even been
Oh,
considered.
it's like it combines that kind of like, especially like with the new expansions, it has like some kind of quirky humor, especially like Cade 6 is like one of the best characters in there, and like it has
Who?
that Cade.
I know what
shut
you're
up.
talking about.
I have
I
no
know what he's
idea.
talking
No, but
about.
it combines like those kind
I'm with
of
you,
like
Ralph, don't worry.
humorous characters. Like even the ghost became humorous, along with like Ikor Ray and Eris Morn that are like more serious. I don't know any of these names, but still like that kind of combination between like silly and yet this is something serious is actually pretty good. And also like the lore behind it. Like yes, like you just play it, it's like people like make fun of it. Like oh, it has no story. Like oh, it's just as long as it has a story in Destiny. It's like it has really good story if you actually like, pay attention to it.
I think that's a bad argument because it's story you have to go outside the game to get.
Ralph, you make me feel bad that I didn't like Destiny. Like, you have this love for this game that I just couldn't find. And I wish I could.
You know why I
like,
had
the
to find
way
it?
that you
got
talk
dig
about
through
it.
garbage to get to it.
Well, no. He's like, oh, that's so funny. I'm like, I don't remember a single
I do.
joke in that whole game.
I
He's got his
remember a
points.
few.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
remember
like. I
anyone.
don't think Destiny needs to be taken off. I think that's a really good.
Let's keep it
game.
on. I think
it's
we
one of the
should keep
most
it on.
disappointing and best games of the year. so I would
Okay,
say.
then I want to
Yeah.
take off Quake.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, that was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Quake is off.
like Quake 4 a lot, but like I'm crazy.
I just think
I've
Quake
never
is-
even touched the
Quake's
series,
pretty
so I
cool.
just
I
have
think
no
Quake is
argument
the worst
for
of
it.
the id shooters.
See, I think Half-Life should be on there as a thing.
It should be, but like none of us like it. So then, if it's this panel,
Time to put it on there. If we can keep Destiny, I can keep Half-Life on there.
do you really believe
I think it made what video games are today, kind of in a very big way.
for
I
better
don't
or
know.
worse?
For better, for worse, yeah.
Okay,
I've
that's
never
fair.
played Wolfenstein.
I think
or
for
House
better,
of the
in
Dead,
most parts,
so.
having narrative in a shooter is like a cool thing.
I would be fine
It did
with
really
cutting House of the
improve
Dead.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
House
what
of the
I'm
Dead's an
thinking,
easy cut.
Yeah.
What the Typing of the Dead's
Replace House of the Dead with
Typing.
Half-Life. That's a fair
Fine.
compromise.
All right, I'm okay with that. I'll die on this.
I didn't
quick.
want to
There
add
you go.
more because we still gotta cut more.
We're only at 9.
Yeah, we can just cut some stuff here.
All right. What do you
What
want
do
to
you
cut?
want?
Titanfall, like it's good, but like it's not like top
There are
5
games I
shooters
would
good.
cut before Titanfall, but I
There
don't
are
think
definitely
Titanfall
What
games
games are you
belongs.
willing to cut? Throw it to me, Joe.
Metal
I would
Honor.
argue Titanfall.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Medal
what,
of
what's
Honor.
Medal of Honor doing on here?
That's
you
what
got
I'm saying.
Destiny. You get rid of Medal of Honor. That good with you?
Sure.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, get Medal of Honor off this list.
Only
If you
I
want
like
to talk
Medal of
about,
Honor.
if you want to talk about bad games tarnishing an industry, those last two
Well, hang
Medal
on,
of
hang on.
Honor games sent that game to the abyss.
Tom,
But they
Yeah.
were both so good.
Thomas says he likes Medal of Honor. Give him the floor.
Yep.
Honestly, Medal of Honor and Medal of Honor Warfighter were both like really solid games. The
No, they
gameplay
weren't.
mechanics worked.
Yeah.
The guns felt nice.
Medal of Honor, that Medal of Honor reboot is garbage. That game is so bad.
Oh my god, I enjoyed it.
Like,
The multiplayer sucked.
man,
but the
I
single
enjoyed
player was
Lost
great.
Via Domos. Doesn't mean it's a good game. Like, those are.
I also enjoyed Lost Via Domus, but I will also not argue for
like
it.
a Medal of Honor, like, and then Warfighter was like, oh, they just double down on this kind of bad stuff and like try to make it good. Like, it just tried to do what Call of Duty did and did it worse. And like that's why I don't think.
Really, I
these
thought it
games-
did it better personally.
I think Call of Duty is way better than that series has been now. Like I think Medal of Honor started off like being like we can do first person on console. And it's like yeah we can, and then Call of Duty blew it out of the water.
But blew it out how? I need something tangible. Why is Call of Duty so much better?
I think the controls for Call of Duty have always been like a step ahead. And then like I just don't know what happened to Medal of Honor to be totally honest. It just tapered off, and then Call of Duty just jumped on in the 360 like for 2, and it's skyrocketed.
It's
in
never
sales.
looked back.
Medal of Honor was just like, okay, we're trying to catch up. No, wait up! And then like it's like we made the Medal of Honor game, and no one liked that game. IGN gave that game a 6.
I don't know why nobody
IGN
liked
gave
Warfighter.
Medal of Honor just like
I
the
don't think
remake
it's like no
a
one
6,
liked
which
it,
is like
but,
that says
no
something.
one knew it came out. Like it was just so overshadowed. But
I played that game when it came out. I played Warfighter when it came out. Those games were both like I was like Warfighter was an improvement, but like too little too
I
late.
saw one commercial for one fighter and then like 10 commercials for whatever.
If Call of Duty
Fine.
wasn't on this list,
Cut the
I would be
list.
like, man, Medal of Honor's
Cut
pretty
Medal
good.
of Honor
All
from the
right,
list.
we have done a whole round.
Good
We
idea.
have 7 games left. I think we start locking in games. I
Call of
want to
Duty.
lock in Doom. I think Doom is a lock. Does anyone disagree?
I like the new Doom, but I don't feel strongly about Doom.
I think
I
the
don't feel
original Doom
strongly.
is like the greatest FPS of all time.
yeah.
Like
Like
we also have, and Doom 2 was great too, but we also have Doom 3, which tried to be every other FPS and just sucked.
I
Doom 3
don't
looked really good, though.
I don't like the idea of bad games
Ruining the
detracting
franchise,
from a
no.
good like.
I'd argue that with one
Yeah.
bad game in its franchise, it belongs on there, especially because of the one I'm about to try to lock in
Yeah,
next.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say Doom's earned its
We already
place on
cut
this
that water
list.
for its bad games, so we can just
Sure.
keep cutting games for bad games.
All right.
What we do for a living.
All right,
baby.
Thomas, what's your lock-in?
My lock-in's Battlefield.
That's fine.
I think that's reasonable.
I think like really the only truly bad entry anybody can point at is Hardline.
And Vietnam.
And Hardline and Vietnam, but Hardline wasn't even made by DICE. It was made by a different company trying to do what DICE does. It was Visceral
Yeah,
that made
no,
Hardline.
just people, yeah.
Yeah, so I would argue that
No, we can lock
Battlefield,
it. I'm not gonna-
overall quality, all the games has earned its place on this list.
Ralph, what's your lock? I think I know what your lock is.
It's Destiny.
Don't be afraid. Just you can do it.
I'll just put Halo.
Okay, lock
Hell
in Halo.
yeah.
Lock in Halo.
Halo belongs on there.
Halo
for
belongs
sure.
on the list.
Halo.
We're a bunch of
has earned its
casuals,
spot.
but it's okay.
I just had to make sure Battlefield got locked in first.
That's why I locked in Doom.
Yeah. Because there are great
I
franchises.
really
on
like
this
Call
list.
of Duty. I
Yeah.
really like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a
belongs on the
franchise,
list.
even if you don't even like some of the entries, they
None
have
of those games
polish
are bad, except for Big Red 1 and Call of Duty 3. Like that's,
and Ghosts.
Ghost is a bad game, but like compared to other like Medal of
Oh,
Honor,
no.
compared to Medal
Yeah.
of Honor, like Call of Duty Ghost is like, oh, that game's like 10,000 times better than that Medal of Honor remake.
I would argue in the end,
I hate that Medal of Honor
Call of
remake.
Duty, Call of Duty has a certain level of polish
Yeah,
that everybody's come to
constantly.
see and
Yeah.
accept from
Yeah.
like each entry, and it's never really let down on that level of polish. It just hasn't expanded further.
Modern Warfare 3 is not great.
Modern Warfare 3
Advanced
was
Warfare, though, one of my favorite games in the FPS genre.
Really?
You can side dash in it, and everything they got rid of that for some reason. I like really
because
fast
I've thought about
shooters.
I've
That's why I
watched.
Let me tell you
like
about Titanfall.
Yeah, lock in Titanfall. I'll be right with you right
All right,
now.
we have 4 games left, and we can
For
pick
on the
one-
chopping block,
Yes,
or-
so we can pick one game out of these 4. I think
lock
this is a
in.
good way to go.
What is our 4? Let's see.
have-
Wolfenstein, Titanfall, Destiny, and Half-Life.
We can pick one game out of those 4.
I would argue for Titanfall.
I'd argue for Half-Life. I'd argue for Destiny.
Ralph?
All right, I
Destiny.
got Ralph's answer.
Are you gonna pick the 4th one so we have a 4-way battle here, or are you
yeah.
gonna pick one to
Cut
vote on?
someone's throat again.
Or do you want us all to give our case for our lock-in before you make your vote?
I like Wolfenstein a lot.
Oh, that's really good.
It is.
Wolfenstein's really good.
I think the New Order's a really good game. I don't really
I didn't
care much
finish
for
it,
the
and I
beginning.
feel bad about
You-
that.
My flip side
Some
argument
fucking
of
people on
that
this podcast, I swear
is
to
that a
God.
lot of the games before it in the Wolfenstein franchise, it's like Wolfenstein 3D,
Wolfenstein
and then
the original.
not a good game came out until
Enemy Territories
Wolfenstein the New Order.
Wolfenstein is a really good game.
Not a fan. And then
Fucking-
Wolfenstein, the
some
one that was just
fucking people.
the one that was
Like-
just called Wolfenstein on like the 360.
Oh, that game's not that great.
That game's bad.
Yeah.
That game's not that good.
That's just legitimately
Yeah.
bad.
That game's-
It's not even that it's not that good.
No,
it's just legitimately
wait.
bad.
If you think Medal of Honor is good and you think that game's bad, Tyler, we need to talk about stuff because like I don't know what the fuck you're seeing or playing that I'm
I
not.
just feel so uninspired. In
so
like,
did that Medal
Wolfenstein.
of Honor game. It just felt like, well, Call of Duty did it, and like that's like all it feels like.
I can't even start. Like,
I think that my heart says Titanfall, but my brain says Half-Life.
Half-Life's
That's how I feel,
overrated.
too, a little bit.
I honestly think the
I would-
games are kind of bad.
I
Yeah.
don't like Half-Life, but like it's so relevant. It's so
Yeah.
important.
Who gives a shit? This is
We
our
cut Mario
panel.
from
I
Nintendo.
do. It
We all
became-
cut Mario from a Nintendo.
Mario's boring.
Mario's
Mario's
boring.
a shitty character.
What? He's important.
We cut
No,
Mario
he's
and
not.
Link.
He's important.
I would
at
argue for
something.
Link. but like, no,
Mario,
we
Mario's
cut that out.
literally the singular character that launched Nintendo as a gaming like juggernaut.
I mean,
No,
Donkey
Kirby
Kong.
did.
Fucking Donkey
Kirby
Kong did that.
Is the
yeah,
launch pad.
who's the main character of Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong!
It's not. Donkey
Kong is in
Donkey
the
Kong.
name!
It's Donkey Kong.
Jumpman is my hero.
Jumpman is not the same man as Mario.
He is.
They are different
Mario,
characters.
Jumpman, Mario.
Mario, yeah.
Pokemon launched
Exactly.
Nintendo. What are we talking about? Half-Life Lock it, goddammit.
No.
I
Fuck Destiny.
vehemently disagree
you.
with Half-Life's inclusion in the top 5.
Well, then what do we do?
Well, Titanfall.
Titanfall?
Titanfall. It's a series
With
that
two-
has
with
had
two
two
games.
entries. It has 2 entries.
I don't.
Well,
I
then
didn't-
again,
Two entries, and I'm only the one who's played the second one.
I didn't
I
think
played the beta
Titanfall
of the
1 was
second
very
Doesn't
good.
count. motherfucker.
I did not think Titanfall 1 was very good.
you see, I disagree. I thought it had a lot of polish. It showed a lot of
I
potential.
thought Titanfall was
I think it
good,
showed-
but didn't have enough content.
I think it showed potential. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was good.
I think Half-Life brought everyone else's what potential could be. That game changed how FPSs were made.
So did
Straight up.
Titanfall.
No, it didn't.
I'm okay.
After
with
it
that.
introduced wall
that game
running?
it was wall
After it
running
introduced
in a
wall
video
running?
game? What the? Like, that's been around forever.
And yet now every first-person shooter has to do it. Now that Titanfall introduced it, every first-person
Yeah,
shooter's
but
been trying to jump
Call
on
of
that
Duty
train.
made side dash, and that's been a good game. You know, I want.
I do
side
want
dashes
to.
back.
I like personally. I've been thinking about going back and trying to play Advanced Warfare now that it's
so
cheap.
Good.
What do you own it on?
I'm on like I think my PS4. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we feel about
I say
System
if I
Shock?
got it, I'd like to have somebody to play it with. No, we're not adding anything at this
joke.
point.
Just Bioshock going to that
It was a
umbrella.
joke.
We're not adding things at this point.
Just
We
Shock
just-
Is Left 4 Dead a first-person shooter?
Yes, let's
It
put Left 4
is.
Dead on there.
No, we're not adding anything
yeah,
at this
take everything
point.
else off. Left 4 Dead
Is
on
Left
there.
4 Dead number 5?
Left 4 Dead's number 5.
No.
Left
No.
4 Dead is number 5.
Thomas doesn't like Left 4 Dead.
I'd argue Half-Life before Left 4 Dead, and I don't even want Half-Life to be on the
Counter Strike. Far Cry.
Counter-Strike's really relevant.
Counter Strike's relevant. Far Cry is
Why?
really
How is
relevant.
Counter-Strike
Why is that the
relevant?
argument?
It's like one of the
relevance?
most
It's one of the most
important
popular games out right
in the
now.
world.
It's not that popular.
No, it's
How is it that I keep hearing about it, but I know nobody who plays it?
because
because
it's
we're
like
not all
this
There you go.
super like basement
They're
dwelling
changing
PC scene.
Exactly.
I played it for a bit.
Makes that esports money, man. Gotta
It
get that
does.
mobile money.
But like nobody but esports people
All right, let's
play
all
it.
stop for a second. Metro 2033.
Great game.
Metro.
I
Fucking
love
fantastic
Let's just put the
franchise.
Metro.
Metroid Prime's a first-person shooter.
And,
I
it's a franchise. There's Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime 2, and 3.
I'm not willing to fight that
Is-
out right now.
Is Metroid Prime number 5?
If you want to lock it in, I'll follow you
wouldn't
on the
say so.
Metro franchise.
I like Metro a lot.
I do too.
Metro is a fantastic franchise.
Can we just say Metro's number 5?
Yeah, it made Half-Life story into what it is now. There you go.
Yeah.
Metro's great.
Yeah.
Ralph, how do you feel about Metro?
He's
Never
never
played
played
it.
it.
You should.
What if I told you it was like literally a book to video game?
It is actually.
That's
Sure.
I think that's really
Metro
cool.
2033 was a great Russian novel, and then they made it into a video
And
game.
Last Light's
Like,
also
yeah, I've heard a
good
lot
game.
of good stuff.
Last
about
Light's
it,
a
so-
completely
but I
original
never played
story.
it.
It was written with the guy who wrote the novel.
And
now
it's a
he's-
good game.
Yeah, and he's making a novelization of
A
Metro.
beautiful game.
We ignored
Last Light.
the Sony FPSs. What are they called?
Killzone.
Killzone and
Lock in Killzone.
Resistance. People say Resistance is good, but I never played those.
Resistance 1 is really good, 2 is pretty not great, and 3's really good.
I've never played them.
3's a really good
Killzone
game.
has always been like
Killzone's shitty.
Killzone sucks.
one was shitty, 2 was pretty good, 3 was fun but dumb, and Shadowfall was dumb but fun as well. But
Killzone
no,
1's
I don't think no.
Yeah.
Hear me out. I do not think it belongs on
No,
this
neither
list.
do I. I spent time on PC.
I'm not gonna
Killzone.
say it's not worth playing,
The
but
best
it does
Killzone
not.
game is the PSP one where you're top down and shooting people. That's the best Killzone game.
Too bad it's not an FPS.
Yep, you're right.
Yep.
Killzone, take it off the list.
Okay, let's just do Metro.
wasn't even
It
on there.
sounds like we like Metro, and we can all agree
three or
that's number
four
5.
of
Yes.
us.
Wait, Thomas.
With the fourth
What?
never
Spec
playing it.
Ops: The Line.
It's not a
It's
first person.
third
It's
person.
third
Not
person.
first person.
Third
It's
person.
third person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a first-person shooter.
No, third person.
Wow.
So
Well,
not even on the
I don't
list.
even know.
Fucking people.
Also, the Spec Ops franchise, because we're talking
I'm a
franchise.
What
fraud.
about
Yeah.
Deus Ex?
I'm a fraud.
I was gonna say we're talking the Spec Ops franchise.
What
the
about
games,
Minecraft?
The games in the Spec Ops franchise.
What
before-
about Minecraft?
The games
Ralph
in the-
opened the gate.
It's not even a first-person shooter.
You shoot a bow.
You shoot a bow.
Doesn't count.
Beat rocks with
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Do we just make a top 4? Because whatever even gets in at number 5 is not moving
I would
past
fight
number
for
5.
Metro to get up higher than some of the games on there.
I don't believe you. All right, can we put Metro?
Yeah,
Can we
put
just
Metro.
call? Can we put this to rest?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Also, Spec Ops as a franchise, every game before the line was fucking
Yeah, it's
terrible.
not a good.
Really?
The line was the only one that aimed high. The line, for example, most people think Spec Ops: The Line is the only game in the Spec Ops franchise to tell you anything about the franchise.
It's got a point.
I thought it was the only game in the franchise when I first heard about it coming out. I had never heard of the franchise, and they were like, the new saga, the new entry in the Spec Ops franchise. I was like, wait, what?
All right, it's irrelevant because it's not even on the list,
Yeah.
so we're just going to move on. Our top 5 consists of Doom, Battlefront, Halo, Call of Duty, and Metro.
Battlefield.
Did I say Battlefront?
You said Battlefront.
I meant to say
Put it
Battlefront.
on the list.
No,
Battlefront.
Okay,
Battlefront's not good.
we need to move this
primarily
along.
third person.
No, we don't.
So, what do we feel about this top 5? Let's start. I think Metro's number 5.
Yeah.
I think
What's
I
on
can.
there?
I think I can agree with that, just because there's a lot of good stuff on there.
I think Metro is number 5.
Just slid Metro above Doom and call it a day.
Doom is not in the bottom half.
I put Doom at number 3.
Slip it right above Battlefield. Call it a day. Slip above anything else, I'd almost be okay with it.
You would put Metro above Battlefield?
I would.
I would put it above Battlefront, Joe.
Above Battlefield?
Yeah, Metro's 5, whatever.
I mean, if we're talking about games with only 2 entries being a problem, Metro only has 2 games.
Metro's 5.
Unless you count the Reduxes. But yeah, no, they're great. Like,
Someone's
Metro's
saying
one of
better
my
than
favorite
Titanfall,
franchises.
scientifically speaking.
Scientifically speaking. Okay, we have 4 games to go.
All right,
Who wants to make the first move
for number 4,
for number 4?
let me see.
I think it should be Battlefield.
I vehemently disagree. I think it
knew
should be
you
Call
would.
of Duty.
I think Call of Duty is better than
I think it's had too many like
Okay.
lackluster entries though for it to be or for it to be above Battlefield.
I think that
It's had more entries than Battlefield has in the past.
I
like,
think
few
that
years.
at its peak,
Who was that?
the best the best Call of Duties are better than the best Battlefield.
I
Battlefields.
completely disagree.
Okay, that's fine.
vehemently
That's fine.
disagree.
That's what this is here for. This is the science.
Battlefield goes below Call of Duty and Halo.
Completely disagree. I think it goes above.
You're
both
right.
of them.
If y'all want our way, Doom is the 4th entry.
But Doom,
Doom 2, no one remembers. Doom 3,
the
no one
original
fucking
Doom
likes.
is probably the best FPS ever made.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's debatable.
The new Doom's the better FPS, I'd actually argue. It's
It's a really
awesome.
good fucking game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not basing this on anymore of like what like made the FPS what they are today because Half-Life would win then and I wouldn't give a fuck. But Doom's great, but like I think one's alright, but I can't go back and play it now and really enjoy it.
I would just
Oh, I
argue
still
that
do.
Call of Duty belongs at number 4, mainly because before Call of Duty 4, like it was a pretty.
Call of Duty 2
lackluster
is my
franchise.
favorite Call
I
of
think
Duty.
Call of Duty's got to be 3 or above, man.
Call of Duty 2 is a fucking
If it's
awesome
3 or above,
game.
then Battlefield's 2.
Can we just? I think we're all sidestepping that Halo's at the top as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Halo's number
Halo.
1.
Is Halo number 1?
Halo's number. I would argue that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite, but
Yeah.
we're casual as fuck if we think that.
No,
No,
I'd
we're
argue
not.
it-
We're real gamers, damn it!
I'd argue it belongs up there.
Yeah.
I love
If we
Halo
want to talk
3.
about like,
I
because
love
we,
Halo.
I love Halo 3.
I was gonna
I
say,
won money playing Halo
I was gonna
3.
say,
Doesn't
if
matter,
we're
I
talking
loved
about the significance of each franchise in regards to the FPS genre as a whole, Halo 1 was like the one that made console shooters a thing.
Yeah.
Like really,
Yeah.
really, really, really made them like start being big hits.
After GoldenEye.
After that garbage
After-
GoldenEye game came
Which is
out,
garbage.
someone tried to fix it.
Well,
and
it's
make
like
it better.
okay, remade it like the big thing.
Yeah, someone tried to make
Yeah.
it good at FPS instead of like GoldenEye.
Here's what we got. Let's lock Halo at number 1
All right.
and lock Metro at number 5, and then we can battle out these 3 in the middle.
Battlefield's 2.
Let me see.
No.
I will fight to the death
Okay.
on that
Let's
one.
do it.
Pull out the knives, boys. We're going cutting.
I think personally I would do.
It's all,
I think I have the exact opposite of yours. I
I'll-
think I go Doom, Call of Duty, Battlefield.
I would go
Let's catch-
Battlefield, Doom, Call of Duty.
Okay.
Let's catch the room temp real quick.
Catch the room
alright?
temp.
Let's catch the room temp. So everyone's fine with 5 being Metro, right? We're
Yes.
all
Yep.
locking there.
I'm okay with it.
So what do you think? All right, route number 4. We have Doom, Battlefield, and Call of Duty left. Halo's number 1. I'm not even asking that. We've all agreed right now.
I'm gonna say Doom number 4.
All right. Nope. The room has spoken. Put it at number 4.
Tyler, what do you think about Doom being number 4?
Yeah,
Just call me
Tyler. Yeah,
Tyler.
Tyler. What do you think?
Shit. Shit. OT, what do you think about
You
that?
don't deserve this.
Nobody on this show calls me OT,
I do now.
but that's fine. I'm used to being called OT like overall. at this point.
Thomas, what do you think?
All right. What do I
Doom
think?
number 4.
Are we locking in Doom as number 4? Or are you
What
asking
do
me
you-
about my opinion on Doom?
Yeah,
We're asking your opinion.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
I
okay
would
with
say.
Doom being at number 4 because I don't know. Though at the same time, I feel like it might deserve number 3 just because it's done so much for
What
the
would you put
genre.
below Doom?
What I put below Doom? Call of Duty.
You're fucking crazy.
I just.
I would.
As
I
someone-
just can't do it.
As someone who
fucking wrong.
likes Call of Duty, like really likes it, it's had way too many lackluster entries to be above Doom and Battlefield.
I just don't think that's relevant.
I
don't
think we're
a
talking
bad
about
entry.
we're talking about franchises as a whole.
Sure.
One bad entry, no, but we've had Ghost, we've had Modern Warfare 3. A lot of people hated Advanced Warfare. I hate to break it to you, but a lot of
I know,
people
but those
did.
people are
Someone
wrong.
on this panel
Black
is
Ops-
saying it's like their favorite though.
Black,
one of the
Ops,
best.
Black Ops 2
Is a great game.
is
I like-
not a
it's a good
great
game.
game.
It's a
No.
great
It tried
game.
a lot.
Black
It
Ops
was
is
not
awesome.
as good as
Black
Black
Ops 2 is
1,
like one of the most popular ones.
which is disappointing to me because Black Ops 1
Just
was
like how
already
people who
out.
don't like Advanced Warfare disappoint me.
Yep.
And
Not
people that
wrong.
don't like Black Ops 3 disappoint me.
I like Black
'cause it's
Ops
so
3.
good.
I'm just saying, well, Doom should be number 4. That's all.
Yeah.
I can accept
It's a
that.
great series. It's just had a lot of flubs.
I can accept that because
Like
it has
Doom
had
3. And
It
then the
also
Doom
is
3
like, you
expansion.
Doom 3 is a bad game.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
the
say,
expansion's also
you
not super
compare
hot either.
you compare the volumes of the franchises
Yeah.
too. Like it's got one bad one out of 4
Like,
entries.
what game invented modern shooting as like it is, like besides Call of Duty being like, we're gonna do
Doom.
Modern Warfare? No, like being Modern Warfare being
Oh,
a
sure.
thing like that.
Oh, admittedly, yeah, Modern Warfare changed this landscape of shooters.
Like that's like something that's really.
But you can't
And
make that argument
online
without saying
shooters.
Doom didn't change the landscape of shooters
Doom
before
changed the
that.
landscape, but no one gives a fuck about Doom anymore.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they
Doom
do.
4
If
brought
anything,
back-
Doom
Doom,
4
people
shows
care
it.
about Doom 2016.
People still play original Doom and love the fuck out of it.
I think it's still a great game. I just think it's a number 4 kind of game.
I think
Yeah.
for our panel,
I think it's a top 5.
I think for our panel, Doom is number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well then let's put it in. Let's
All
lock
right,
it in
and
number
then we
4.
can be done with our list with Call of Duty about Battlefield. We can go home and call it a
Battlefield
day.
That's
has
not right.
been
Yeah.
substantially, like consistently better than Call of Duty. One, the games have been way more like just unified in the fact that they've been
the
made
campaigns
with one
are nowhere as good as Call of Duty's campaigns.
Yes.
I would
They
agree
didn't
with
even
that.
have campaigns.
Call of Duty has had some really bad campaigns too.
But
Battlefield doesn't have any good ones.
Battlefield has
neglect-
had Battlefield Vietnam. It says Battlefield 2142.
We've got Bad
which is
Company, Bad Company 2,
garbage.
Battlefield 3's campaign was really good.
Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4
Battlefield
and Battlefield
4
1's campaigns are all not good.
Battlefield 4 had a good first half of its campaign. It dipped off in the second half, but the first half was really good.
Those campaigns feel like I'm playing a Call of Duty campaign.
and Battlefield
I
1
couldn't
is
get-
terrific.
I couldn't get past
The
first mission
writing in Battlefield
4.
1, the characters in Battlefield 1 are fantastic, with like fantastic scenarios that I love.
No and no.
Are there good characters in Battlefield 1?
In Battlefield 1,
Yeah.
There's a few
Tell,
good scenarios.
tell me the characters.
Yeah.
Tell me about them.
Edwards, who is like the main tank operator and driver in Through Mud and Blood, is this like kind of run to the mill like little guy. He used to drive fancy cars for people, and that's his only experience going into tank operator. He's scared, he's terrified, and you see this legitimate like fear of war induced in one guy. Well, like you have his commander,
And then
and
you go murder 50 people
well, yeah,
with a handgun.
because you have to.
Yeah, but like
Because you-
like it's like Battlefield 1, like it's like it has this real war feel, and then I'm gonna go just fucking like murder 75 people with this dude who just knows how to drive cars. Like that's where like I get this weird disconnect with that game. Like when I play Call of Duty, they're like, these men have been murdering people forever. You're gonna go murder with them now.
Let's
And you're
talk
like,
about
all right.
soap.
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 McTavish.
He didn't even really become a character until 2, in a sense.
Let's talk about No Russian.
No Russian.
No Russian was mostly shock value.
Some good shock
That's a
value
pretty
though.
good shock value though.
Pretty
Yeah.
decent shock value, but like at the end of the day, it's like they did something to shock you as opposed to actually move things forward.
I think all the set
The
pieces
fact
in
that you
Battlefield
could,
1
the fact
aren't as
that you're
cool as
allowed to,
Battlefield
the fact that you're allowed to skip No Russian,
3. Yeah.
and you can easily skip No Russian, and it doesn't impact the story at all. To me, says that literally its only use is shock value.
So I think it does, like, if you're playing the game, it does impact how you think of that story then, from that point.
In
I
a
think,
sense.
Like, if you do leave that out, like, you have, like, a little less,
But they blow over
care
like the
for it.
implication of it so quickly.
Yeah, of course
They're
they
like,
do. Like, they have to.
America
Like,
killed them, and then they move on. There's like
Yeah.
no, there's really like, even though like Russia attacks America, they like never bring it up again. In like Modern Warfare 3, even it's never brought up like when they're having the peace talks between Russia and the U.S. It's never brought up that an American guy killed like 50 fucking innocent Russians.
you
No
can
matter
choo-
what the
you can
context
choose-
was.
You can choose to not shoot, you monster. You monster!
You still didn't stop them.
No.
You
of
had a
course not.
gun, a loaded gun, in the back of Makarov's head. You also have to argue, what was the point of him not killing Makarov in that moment?
Are we arguing that Makarov is not the good guy in this whole series?
He's not.
He's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, I think he's like,
Except kill a bunch of innocent
fine.
civilians.
Tell me
and-
how that's wrong.
yeah.
Tell me how that's wrong.
Cold
None of them were
belief.
combatants.
Let's talk about zombies.
Zombies?
That's a pretty big bullet point, I think.
Great. Only
don't
the
care.
entries that Treyarch makes, though.
Yeah, those are really good games.
Yeah, no, they're great games, but I mean, like, nobody talks about Exo Zombies, which is included in Advanced Warfare.
Like, I actually
That's
don't like
the-
zombies at all. Like, I don't care about zombies. It's never done anything for me.
I think zombies are really cool.
Zombies are really fun. I still play
You
zombies
could
with my...
I think it's a great addition for
Hell,
people who like it. I just don't give a shit.
Right,
Yester-
it's another full
Yesterday,
Another
yesterday
good
I was...
thing to put over Battlefield.
Yesterday I was playing zombies with my roommate. Like, I still play zombies. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's awesome.
The story stopped making sense after,
Yeah.
like,
I think it makes
Origins.
more sense than ever in 3,
My
honestly.
argument for the
Really?
campaign
Yeah.
stuff was that, like, all the Battlefield 1 stuff is good. I think the set pieces in Black Ops 3 are still better than Battlefield 1's, any of its set pieces it's had.
I will say Black Ops 3 had a fantastic
The cool
campaign.
dream world and, like, the stuff's, like, falling down from the sky has been better than anything on Battlefield 1.
And it was one of the first times...
It was like in a World War II setting. It was
For me, it was one of the
coolest
first
fucking
times I
thing.
saw, like, it was one of the first times in a while I'd seen Call of Duty taking a risk.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, we're going to make a story that not everybody's going to get.
Like where Battlefield feels risky, like this one, like none of the Battlefields ever feel like a calculated risk. Like we're doing a war setting. Where Battlefield 1 like could have been risky in some way, it still feels like logical Battlefield steps. Like it's just like nothing feels like, except for that first mission in Battlefield 1, that's the only time I've ever felt like, oh, this actually means something.
But
Like,
I'd
I'm
argue,
actually
again,
fighting
we're
death.
arguing a franchise as a whole, not just
But I'm
each
saying
individual entry.
and that's
And
for
Battlefield has
every-
consistently had good entries.
You're right, and so is Call of Duty. Like, and
Except it has
consistently
so
great
many, it's had
entries.
so many lackluster entries.
We have
that it
identified
can't-
two.
Battlefield,
Yeah.
has Battlefield
Two.
Vietnam,
Out of
Battlefield
what, like 15
2142,
games? Of
Battlefield
Call of Duty?
Hardline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 out of 15? That's nothing.
That's a horrible percentage.
Two
Oh,
bad
so-
games?
okay, so-
there are
Two bad games.
Yeah, there are
You're talking about
here we
two
go.
good games.
No, there are 13 good
Give me my
games and 2
Battlefield.
bad
Let me just say
games.
I
Battlefield.
already
Battlefield
identified
Hardline,
four.
Battlefield 2142, Battlefield Vietnam, Battlefield Modern Combat,
I think
Battlefield Modern
Battlefield
Combat
4
2,
is kinda
Battlefield Bad
bad.
Company 1. Those are bad games.
I
Those
think
are
Ba-
great games.
I think
Bad Company 1 is a
Battlefield 4
fantastic
Bad Company
game.
was a garbage game for garbage people.
I think Battlefield 4 is a bad game too.
Bye,
I think
Ralph.
Battlefield 4 might be one of the best first-person shooters of all
Just
time.
walk
think it's
away
pretty
and
terrible.
no
I
one
think
I
it
think
might
Call
be
of
one of
Duty
the
2 is
best
a fucking
first-person
best
shooters.
first-person shooter.
I think Battlefield 4 might be one of the best first-person shooters ever released.
I think that's Doom, but okay. Ralph, what are your thoughts?
Doom 2016 is the best first-person shooter.
Ralph, how do you feel about Battlefield versus Call of Duty?
I like the campaigns from Call of Duty a whole lot more than I do. The multiplayer definitely beats, on average, Battlefield definitely beats Call of Duty, but for me, Black Ops 3 was definitely better in like terms of multiplayer.
So you
Than
think
Battlefield 1?
Not Battlefield.
Okay.
So-
I said on average.
so by Ralph's logic we're saying the
On average, Call of
campaigns
Duty's
of Call of Duty are unanimously better,
Yeah.
and
I can-
sometimes the multiplayer is better.
That is
as well.
just the objective truth. Like the
I can-
campaigns for Battlefield have always felt
With
like
the
a Call of Duty
exception of
copy.
Bad Company 1 and 2, which are
Bad
fantastic
Company 2.
campaigns.
Bad Company 1
I
campaign
would
is
say
not
like
that great.
Black
I
Ops
liked
3
it.
is better than every
lot.
Battlefield
I've never
multiplayer
seen you a lot,
except
which is
Battlefield
just like-
1.
You're like, I like it. I'm like, I don't. And like that's all it gets you every time.
I mean, if we're at this
But
point,
I will agree that Call of Duty has had consistently better story modes,
Yeah.
especially in regards to World at War, which is one of my favorite
I
World
love
War
World at
II
War.
narratives in a video game.
Yeah.
Black Ops 1, which just hit a lot of points that would specifically get me. I'm biased. I love Cold War settings. I love
Yeah.
unreliable narrators, and this had both. So, and it did both of them really well. It did a lot of them justice. Rebirth Island's a real place, by the way, in case you never knew that.
I believe
Black Ops
it.
1. Yeah,
They
it
did
was
their
a real.
research.
It was a real Soviet
They
like
did the
chemical
Black
weapons.
Ops.
No, it was a real Soviet chemical weapons test site too. Like
awesome.
it even fit the same criteria in regards in Black Ops and how it functioned in the story.
so
Black Ops 2 was a kind of lackluster campaign that I thought
They had weird choices in it that you
they had
could
weird
make, which were
choices, which was
awesome.
it was an interesting
I liked
attempt, but I felt like in the end they didn't do it well.
I thought the choice of like shoot the dude or like shoot him in the leg choice was like one of the weirdest choices I've had in a video
It
game.
made
Oh,
no
yeah.
sense for the character of fucking Menendez to not just kill that dude.
Wait, I thought like you were Menendez. Wait, were you Menendez?
Yeah, you were Menendez when you
I
made that choice. And I was
I
like,
forget.
shoot him in the leg because your one random underling asked you to shoot him in the leg, or shoot him in the head because you're Menendez and you're the villain and you
Wait,
want to kill this man.
What part was this?
It was like whenever you were taking over the boat as Menendez as part of your scheme to
And
get
that's why
captured.
campaigns are better because I remember that. I don't remember any Battlefield campaign.
So I
You tell me
think
you don't remember any of Blackburn's story in Battlefield 3.
No, straight up don't.
You fucking don't remember climbing on the train, everything blowing up around you, or
Dude,
whenever
I
you were playing
straight
as Dima, whenever you're like running through the streets of Paris after this one dude, the cops are shooting at you, and like you have to like make
I
a
feel like
decision
that's a
to like
part from
fight
Call
back.
of Duty I've played.
No, that's
Where I'm running
Battlefield
through the
3.
street and like I hit a favela and I'm trying to chase a guy.
It's
down.
not a favela. You're running through the streets
No,
of
I'm just saying
downtown
that's,
Paris.
that's the part I've played in Call of Duty before.
Except this did it better.
I think we're done here.
All right.
I think we've decided.
I'm so sad because Battlefield deserves to be above Call of Duty in every way, except for campaigns. It's like literally the only thing that's keeping
We're
Call
like
of
a lot
Duty
of
above
So you
it.
mean
Campaign
multiplayer?
players.
That's
Science
the
has
only
been
thing
done.
that's going for.
Number 5, Metro. Number 4, Doom.
Yeah, Metro.
Number 3, Battlefield.
It deserves to be number one, honestly.
Number 2,
I don't agree with that.
Call of Duty. Number 1, Halo
Halo.
3. Specifically.
Technically.
Halo 5 is actually
We didn't
really
even
good.
talk about Halo at all. We were
Don't
just like, oh, it's
need
done.
to.
'Cause
Yeah,
we know-
okay.
Halo's a great series. Halo's a great
Halo
series.
3 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Halo 4 is
I
like
like
the
Halo
only
3 a
one
lot.
that I really hated.
Yeah.
I do not like Halo 4.
Nobody likes Halo 4.
Some people do.
Some people do, but they're wrong.
Yeah. Just like how people think Battlefield shouldn't be number 3. You know, it's just the way it goes.
Science has spoken.
I have been
so
your
much.
host, Joe Lunghi.
And I've been Thomas Weitzel, your vehement Battlefield fan.
I've been Ralph. just staying here quiet most of the time.
And I'm still Chase.
Thanks for joining us as we talk about how Call of Duty is the second greatest first-person shooter
How
franchise.
it's objectively better than Battlefield in
That's
almost
completely
not
every
true.
way possible.
Join us next time. We'll see you then.